Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All Star Toyota.
Ooh, you're scary.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Terrifying and terrible.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, and welcome in to OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jake Alondra and Jacob Beck here with you. We'll see if we can get T-Bob to join us from Savannah. He was speaking at the Savannah Touchdown Club last night. And, Tay-Tay's on another vacation. And, yes, the whitest place possible, Branson, Missouri. Alondra had a lot of fun again at the Queen.
Yeah.
Outside
Queen's
of the outcome of the game. We even got a chance to hang out with Handyman.
I know.
It's been a long
Love
time.
Hanny. Yeah, but the results not. I mean, they're exactly what I thought they were going to be, but
we'll get there and we'll get it started, the whole deal. But how do you think T-Bob's feeling about his bet right now?
So I was somebody commented on my tweet last night, and they were like, they put a picture of T-Bob as the eunuch from Game of Thrones. And I was like, no, he's going to find a stat that's like Derek Carr's in the top 12 worst quarterbacks. And he's going to be like, see, top 12. I don't have to do it.
No, obviously we're not going to hold him feet to a fire. Well, I don't know. Would his feet even pick up the fire?
I don't
being
think so.
Small.
Well, they are they're fire starters.
That's so true. It's like a matchbox on his heels. So, the Carfax are looking like the Saints have a lemon.
I mean, the car is totaled.
All right. Let's don't delay it anymore. Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Tiger Labor and Staffing, locally owned and operated. If you are an employee or an employer, call 225-275-8437 this morning. They have been there for hours already waiting on your call. All right, let's get into it. 26-13, the Kansas City Chiefs take down the New Orleans Saints in a game. Honestly, when you look at the total stats, the Chiefs dominate from top to bottom. We'll welcome on T-Bob to the show now. T-Bob,
yo,
how are we feeling about the Carfax right now?
I mean, it's not good. But I mean, it's not just Derek Carr. The whole thing, it's just bad right now. I was thinking a lot about this. Like, if we lived in ancient times, and you see, because okay, first off, let's take a step back and let's be completely honest about this. There's nothing surprising about the Chiefs dominating this game. There's a reason why none of us picked the New Orleans Saints to win this game. The Saints were mid to begin with. Then a mid team caught a pretty extreme amount of injuries and continues to catch said injuries. And then you have to go into what many NFL players say is the hardest road environment in the league, the craziest crowd in Arrowhead, against an undefeated Chiefs team that is the dynasty of our era. Like, you already were a bad team. If you were going to win this game, that was going to be the surprising thing. What I saw last night, nothing was surprising. And it sucks. And it sucks because it's almost like the football gods want Dennis Allen and the Dennis Allen era to fail. That's kind of what I was getting at earlier. If this was ancient times, people would be taking to the streets and preaching on the corners about how, look at all of these injuries. These are signs of God's displeasure. Allen is not the man to lead us. And he calls for revolution and whatnot. So it's, in my mind, it's not surprising, but it sucks. And now the entire season is on the line Sunday in the Dome against the Bucks, and then you got to turn right back around, and 5 days later, you got the Broncos. It's and it's so clear, Jake. Like, this is an offense that will not work if you can't throw the ball, or excuse me, if you can't run the ball. And of course, because this is an offensive line that is very suspect in obvious passing downs, with a quarterback that even with a defensive offensive line can be suspect in obvious passing downs. It's like we've talked about. Derek Carr is never going to win you anything by himself. Now, that's not to say he can't engineer a late drive. That's different. I'm talking about like over the course of a game, he's not just going to lift you up and win. If you give him a good support, allow him to work off of play action, yeah, he can be pretty good. But he's limited, and he's limited if he has to be the guy. And in the context of the Saints team, like without Taysom Hill, that running game for whatever reason just cannot get going. And if that can't get going, you don't stand a chance. Because this O-line and Derek Carr cannot and will not ever be able to stand up under pressure when the other team knows you're about to have to throw it.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's too old, he's too veteran. He gets, and I know you're going to say he's 18th highest paid, but still, like, he gets paid too much for that to be the case, to not be able to do something on his own. But you're also right when you say if you're not running the football, like, he is not going to go get you out of a bad situation. And you take a look at last night, and there was a couple of bad situations. Like the first interception, like, that can't happen. That can't happen. That looked like a rookie quarterback that was panicking on his back foot. Maybe he's trying to throw it out of bounds. Maybe he was still in the pocket and just throws it up for grabs. Like, those are things, that's non-negotiable. Like, that can't happen when you've got a quarterback that has a decade plus in the NFL. Like, you can't go in that environment, an environment that he knows very well. He's probably played in there as much as anybody in the NFL, being a longtime Raider, and think that you can just throw it up and then come back from that. Like, those are the things that make me frustrated, like, when I watch it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I when I watch it, again, I have no great expectations for Derek Carr. You can hand wave away the 18th thing, but it is what it is. It's what you're paying for.
I mean, but he was like 13th or 12th or 13th when they paid him. There just happened to be like 6 guys after him.
Yeah, but I mean, they're taking that into account when you sign that deal. Like, you're projecting forward in the market. All that plays into it. It doesn't matter though. It's like who Derek Carr is obvious, right? So I don't have some sort of unrealistic expectation that he's just going to be able to put this team on his back and make them be great. This team has to. The offense has to start with being able to run the ball. It's that simple. And right now, I don't know why exactly. And it's probably not as simple as reducing it just down to Taysom Hill. But I mean, the sample sizes that we have, when you don't have Taysom, you cannot stay on schedule. You cannot stay ahead of the chains. You're getting to 3rd and longs. And again, like we're talking about, 3rd and long is just a death knell for this team. And maybe it's more of a function of opponent, because a team has Jalen Carter, a team has Chris Jones. And so maybe they're just like especially well suited with 2 of the best interior guys, if not the best in the entire league, to exploit you. But I mean, bro, and at the end of the day, I mean, everybody's hurt. Like, did we really think that a New Orleans Saints team with a 2-page injury report was going to go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, well, at least I hope they didn't think that they were going to go in there and win it. If they did, we need to have a conversation. I did think it would be a little bit more competitive in some of the areas where you were banged up. You realize that. I mean, they doubled you up. They gained 460, you gained 220. Like, those things are still a little surprising.
Bro, you had like 15 carries for 46 yards.
Yeah, and it looked like it. And they were like, it just, like, they were trying to run outside zone, but Alvin was cutting it back inside. It's like, you don't have anything inside. Your guard and center right now are off the street. Like, you can't cut that there. Like that was a little bit surprising. So that that's going to fall on the running back a little bit. I'm not saying there was a ton of room outside, but you could tell they were trying to run outside zone, but they kept cutting it back. But I mean, 460 to 220, and also you didn't get Chris Olave involved at all. Like you didn't even like whisper his name into the night.
No, I mean, again, the Saints they were a mid team to begin with, right? And by mid, I mean like legitimate mid, like maybe like around 500 NFL team probably to begin with. If everything goes perfect for that team and you get good injury luck and some guys perform what it felt like at first, if everything goes perfect for that team, maybe you do end up finding your way to like 10 wins in a playoff, right? That's like the best case scenario. Unfortunately, Jake, I feel like we're kind of seeing the worst case scenario take place, where it's like, what happens if you have a team that is already deeply flawed and then you exacerbate all the flaws with injury? Okay, the O-line, frontline starters are already bad and thought to be some of the worst in the NFL. What if multiple of them got injured, including the best player? Okay, Taysom Hill is suddenly this straw that stirs the offensive drink and makes everything work with the different personnel looks, different ways you can use them, short yardage situations, third of the pass. You finally got Hill into the exact kind of vision that Sean Payton had for all those years ago. And what happens? He immediately gets hurt. Let's just basically hurt everybody defensively. Peyton Turner, you finally got a sack, forced fumble, you're hurt. It's just like it just feels so obvious why it looks the way that it does to me. Already a deeply flawed team, all the flaws exacerbated by injury. Now, the season is still not over. Not that I have a lot of hope going forward after the 3 losses in a row, but it does all come down to Sunday. I mean, against the Bucs in the Dome, the entire season is on the line. You now have a short week after Monday Night Football on the road to come back and try to figure out some way to pull off an in-division win, which, those games always do tend to be closer. But who knows if you'll even have Derek Carr for that game. And I don't think Carr is good, like I said. But I might be wrong about this, Jake. I don't think Hainer or Rattler are going to look any better behind this line and in this system.
Oh, I mean
maybe if Taysom comes back healthy.
Rattler probably thinks this is like the best offensive line in the world after what he was behind, but I get your point.
Look, I get what you're saying. But I'm going to be fascinated to see how those young cats do if they're thrown in and have to play a full game in this game. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, I would love to be wrong. And I'd love for the Saints to hit on one of those phenoms where a guy just gets going and it's like, oh my God, where's this coming from? But if you think Carr feels bad, I actually bet these younger guys feel a bit worse. But if nothing else, it would be exciting, right? Especially maybe a Rattler, because he feels like he potentially represent more of the future even than a Hainer. But who knows? Last night was depressing. Nothing was surprising. But at the same time, the season's not over. The final stand game, I still believe, is coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, and sure, they had injuries, and you're right, the roster wasn't set up to be able to take those, but it is frustrating when you look up and the Kansas City Chiefs go get Kareem Hunt off the street, Juju Smith-Schuster off the street, and they replace their stars with former stars of theirs that were stars like 7 years ago, and they come in there and they play that well. It's just an organization that's got a culture right now that they can have an injury and go get somebody in Kareem Hunt that looked bad with the Browns a year ago, and now he looks like prime Kareem Hunt when he was with the Chiefs. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, like he hasn't played like that since Moby Dick was a minnow, and he goes out there and he looks like a star. Like that is just a good culture. They find a way. They've got the quarterback that can put these players in a really good position to succeed. So even a team like that has injuries, they just find a way.
Yeah, but they have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You have Dennis Allen and Derek Carr.
I know, and that's the issue.
Do you expect a Pinto to beat a Porsche in a race?
Don't roll into the season with a Pinto.
What?
I just hate that they roll into the season with the Pinto and tried to make us believe like it was going to be anything other than a Pinto.
That's because make no mistake, the Saints are in like a soft reset here, right? They have been completely apathetic with free agency, trades, all of that. It's funny, after a game like this, you're like, you know what, let's actually not trade for Devontae Adams. Like, and it almost does feel like the Saints have a bit of that, like,
a receiver is not the issue.
We're not going to sink any more cost into this team as we reset. You're going to kind of either make it or you're going to fail. And if you fail, then we get a good draft pick and we try to move from there. The only thing that does disappoint me, probably the most disappointing part about the team thus far to me, is that I really still do believe in Clint Kubiak. Like, I think he's a badass OC, and I think it's a real bummer if you're not going to get to see at some point this year. Hopefully you'll get healthy, and even if it's at the end, like, I don't know what it means for the future, but, like, it'd be a real bummer if we never got to see Clint Kubiak with a more healthy team to bring to bear, because what he was overcoming even in the first couple of weeks was really fantastic. It's just, God, it sounds dumb, but whenever Taysom's out, they can't make anything work. It doesn't feel, and I know it's not that simple. It's more about just the O-line being bad and getting beat, and they're just kind of, it's obvious. It's easier to stop Kamara when that's like all you're worried about. And maybe it is the fact that because you only have 4 weapons and you take one away, it could be any of them, but that's 25% of your weapons gone. So of course things look bad. But, like, it's just, if they don't have him this year, it just none of it works.
And here's the problem, and I'm not even blaming the Saints because Taysom is a unicorn, but when you base your offense and a lot of things that you do off one player that you don't have at least a great value version of, like, you can fall into this. And I don't know who the great value version of Taysom is. We talk about it all the time, and we joke about Tommy Stevens, but like, I don't know how you get away from that, because it is difficult, because he does make you better. But this is what you fall into when somebody who's had a ton of injuries in his career, college and pros, goes down, and you don't have another guy that can do some of the things that he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have anybody on the roster. Now, again, I know there's not a lot of people walking the streets that have his skill set. We can take the throwing the football out of it, though. Like, they're not asking him to throw the football anymore. And when you don't have somebody to come in that does what he does, this is what it's going to look like. Like, the offensive line injuries, sure. Like, those are, crushing you right now. I would say the Eric McCoy is. Cesar Ruiz, not so sure. But, like, those are hurting you right now. But it's not having Taysom, because a lot of things go through him. And when you don't have another version of him, then you can't run a lot of the things that you do or want to do.
And to your point, you make a very good point. It's a bit surprising they don't have some better analog for him, because he's not really throwing the ball, right? Like, I don't know who the other athlete would be that maybe you train up in there. Is it a running back? I mean, it's probably not fullback fully, because not many have the athleticism of a used chick. But, like, I'm surprised that as like you're saying, Jake, I'm really surprised that it doesn't seem like you developed anybody else for that sort of gadgety type of role. And even if it's not nearly as good, at least, like, those avenues of the playbook and personnel packages and play calling styles stay open. Whereas right now, Taysom's out and it feels like they just completely shut down.
All right, we need to take a break. We will continue this conversation. We've got Brian Kelly sound to play as LSU gets ready to take on Ole Miss inside of Death Valley. More OTB when we come back here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to community.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around.
Hey, go to communitysteelco.com. Communitysteelco.com is the website. It's 7:19. It's early, but they've been there for 19 minutes already, waiting on you in Gonzales, Louisiana. And like we tell you every single day, when you go to the website, top right corner of the site, click on Community Steel, and it's going to pull up exactly where that's at. Now, if you're in Louisiana and you can't get there today, that is okay as well. You can always pick up the phone, give them a call, tell them what you're looking for. That number is 225-647-2020, and T, always online at communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, man. Head over to communitysteelco.com. Don't care what your project is, giant project, smaller project, We got all your steel needs at the best prices in Gonzales Community Steel Company.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America, Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We have the chat, T-Bob, trying to find a Taysom Hill light. I don't love some.
Who we got?
I don't
Who
love
we got so far?
some of the Joshua Dobbs.
I mean, I never would have considered it, but I'm kind of like, oh, okay, he's big. He definitely ran around on the Saints, dude. I don't think.
I think that was just
body,
PTSD.
I don't think the problem is I don't think any quarterback's body is calloused enough for what has to take place. It has to be a tight end or a fullback.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like maybe a big back, like a big running back, Jamal Williams type back.
Yeah. Yes. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah. We had some
Make
Joe
Williams
Milton.
do something. Do anything.
Yeah. Oh, he almost had an Xavier Carter moment last night where he took a knee on the one.
That was I don't even know. It was tight. Was Kalen Saunders' pick?
That was
my man looked good running the ball. Cool that he got it with all the story of Cam Saunders and T Swift and everything. I'm sure
his
the
old
Swifties
team that
very
drafted
happy
him
with that.
too. Like there's that's a portion of it.
Wait, what?
I mean, that's the team that drafted him too.
Yeah.
You know,
It was Kalen Sutter's
you could tell all his boys that were there in 2019 and when they drafted him and he was a player there, like all of them were coming up to him after the game, showing him a little love for that play.
Wait, so dude, how was the Queen last night? Did we win any money?
Well, we were trying to figure that out. So, you know, they typically give us a little bit and we go place like this crazy parlay. So I got there as the game started, didn't know that, you know, what the situation was or if Hanny maybe took our free bet. So I had to go to the ATM, get some money out. But I did place a bet on Foster Moreau over 7.5 yards and an anytime touchdown. And that did hit.
So, wait. So, this sounds like you're saying you won.
No. I mean, Alondra was there with me. Alondra's going to get something. Like, even though it was.
No, that was Jay. No, because I don't know what Hanny.
Yeah, I'm saying.
What
like,
did Hanny do? Did Hanny take our bet?
That's what I'm asking. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, last time we bet because we get, you know, money towards a bet because it's part of the package. I don't know where that bet was. I had to go into the ATM to get money. And I'm saying, like, where's that $50?
Look, I'll pay my portion of the original ATM get out. No, I got you, fam. Don't worry. How about this? Answer me this. Did I get my headphones stolen? So yesterday, I get done with work at like 3 o'clock.
Wait, your earbuds that you always use?
No. A pair of just some wireless headphones, some Bluetooth headphones that I got, right?
Okay.
And I'm sitting here till about 3 o'clock, and it sucks. Like I'm sitting here editing, doing all this crap, and the whole day, just sunny, beautiful Savannah is like teasing me outside of my window. So I finally get to leave. I walk around for an hour. It's great, just enjoying the city, sight sounds. I come back, little bed and breakfast. I'm in, having a wine and cheese hour. Had a couple of cheap glasses of Merlot.
Yes.
Read some Transmetropolitan, a comic book I bought on my walk. Enjoyed some pimento cheese. I've never actually, I realized, I don't know how at 35, I've only had pimento cheese on that Chick-fil-A sandwich. And I've never had it just like had it.
What?
And I guess they're known for their pimento cheese here.
Okay. Savannah, shout out.
And it was delicious. It was delicious. But the point is, I enjoy a couple glasses of wine, I'm reading, cheesing. And then I go up to my room. And this morning I'm looking for my headphones. I can't find them. I'm like, oh, I must have left them downstairs. So this morning I go talk to the front desk. And I'm like, hey, I think I left my headphones down here. Anybody turn something in? And she was like, oh, yes. The guy that works here, he found them. And he said, if a customer comes to ask for them, tell him I'm borrowing them.
What?
And I'm like, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, well, I leave today. And she's like, what time? I'm like, 11:30. She goes, I'll see if I can get it back by then.
What?
I'm like, wait, guys, what? What are we talking about? Like, no, I don't think you could say you're just borrowing them.
No,
and
those are headphones that touch my ears.
After this, I'm gonna have to be like, look, guys, I don't want to be an a-hole, but like, if you can't get, like, you have to mail these to me, or I think I have to say that you technically like stole them.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to be a snitch, but I feel like I may have to, like,
you have to
I may have to talk to the boss or something. Be like, dude, this guy. I don't know. Just give me my freaking headphones.
No, actually, that is wild. Like it.
Wait, but why were
if
you
they were like,
okay?
hey, he took them home because he didn't want to leave something like this in the lost and found, and it could go missing. Maybe that'd still be weird behavior. But the fact that no, I'm going to borrow your headphones, and I might have them back by the time you leave.
I mean, I'm like, what? And it's early morning. I'm just going to get coffee and stopped in. Had a great little diner breakfast, which was excellent. But so I didn't like belabor the point because the guy's not there, and I don't know if he's awake yet or anything. So during one of these commercials, I'm going to call back down and be like, hey, any chance you could get those? I mean, about to go to the airport. Like, come on now. Can't just be taking my headphones.
No, that's one of the wildest stories I've ever heard, actually. And just
the
straight up
fact
like,
when
we're borrowing
when she hit me with, ooh, I'll see if he can get back by then. I'm kind of like, At first, I was like, wow, okay. And then the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait a second. Did they just like have me agree that they got stolen and I'm kind of okay with it? So I don't know, man. I hope that's I hope they give me him back. I don't know, dude.
No, I mean, there ain't no hope. It's like they better have him back at 11.
Thank you. I agree. Daniel Basham, what exactly is pimento cheese? I have no idea. Does pimento cheese have rice in it? What are all those little kernels in there? You know what I'm talking about, Jake?
Kernels.
Do you know?
I don't know that I've had kernels.
Well, they got like the pimento cheese. It has like little rice shapes in it. And it's probably the cheese itself.
I just thought it was shredded cheddar, mayonnaise, and pimentos. Am I wrong there?
Wait,
That's
what?
exactly what
Shredded
it is.
cheese, mayonnaise, and pimentos.
What's a pimento?
It's the red in there.
Is that the right? What are the? So how's it get that distinctive sort of shape?
That's
What are you
shredded
talking
cheese.
about?
I think what you're
It's
talking
shredded
about. I don't
cheese?
know. The rice has me thrown off.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
I don't know
about,
what you're
rice,
talking about.
but like pimento is just like a little pepper.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, look, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like somebody probably knows what I'm talking about. But
No.
it's been a weird day. People stealing headphones. It's just cheese pimento, man.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
I'm
It's
gonna
freaking
have
great.
to I know we got a lot to get to. We got like all this sound and everything, but the headphones has me shooketh a little bit. Just the fact that someone's like, we might be able to get him here by 11. We'll see.
Guys,
No.
I don't want to do this, but I think you stole them.
Yeah.
I know you didn't mean to. You didn't mean to. You just meant to borrow them. But technically, I believe they've been stolen
All right.
now.
All right.
at this
Walk
point.
me through this, okay? So what time's your flight?
I think 1.
All right, so your flight's at 1, so you're going to leave at 11:30. Let's say it's 11:17. You're walking down to the lobby, no headphones. What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm just gonna if they don't show up by 11:30, I'm just gonna take the L. And
What?
No.
No. Give me the number.
I'm
Send me the number right now.
I'm gonna ask them
passive.
to mail it to me, obviously. And if they don't, I'm probably not.
How much?
I'm not
well,
actually
okay, what
gonna-
kind of headphones are they? A lot of this matters.
They're actually, I like them a lot. They're Bose.
No.
And they're custom
That's all you
made.
gotta say. Nope.
Yeah, you gotta get
nope.
those
You said
back.
Bose. You gotta get those
They're
back.
custom made for Snaps. The volume made them
No,
for Christmas
no.
a couple of years ago.
T-Bob. You
You
gotta get
You're
those
being
back.
too passive
Yeah.
right now. I don't know how you even let that lady tell you that without saying something. Like
because it's
in
not
that
her
moment.
fault. It's like early
No,
in the
but
morning, so I was just
no.
like not going to start
you
her
gotta
day
be
like,
like-
crazy.
Oh,
now.
I'd
Okay,
start her
so
day on
call
a-
that man right now and tell him to
Yeah,
bring my headphones.
yeah.
Like,
Call
what? You
old
don't
boy right
borrow
now and
headphones.
tell him I'm gonna need those headphones and I'm gonna need
Yeah,
them by
I'm going to
7:30.
tell her that. I'm going to tell her that during. I think I'm going to call her during the commercial.
Okay.
And be like, look, like I'm gonna need those. And then maybe I'll imply, like Dennis Reynolds style. It's the implication. Like I'll imply that somebody's gonna get in trouble if I don't get those headphones. But at the end of the day, if I don't get them, I'm probably not gonna call anybody's boss or anything. I'm not out here trying to get somebody fired, but that's
Yeah,
a
but
real.
they were out here trying to
it's a
take
real
your
bad
headphones,
move.
so it's like
It's a real bad move by them.
No.
Not
I
nice.
don't know, this kind of has me like
Not nice.
bothered.
Right.
Well, it's okay. Let's not overreact because what if he brings them back? He said he was just borrowing them.
Like it's already
But
it's
that's
already
like-
an offense
Yeah.
that he borrowed your headphones.
Yeah,
Like if he
that's
brings
a
them back,
little
that
wild.
helps, but that is wild
That's
behavior.
so gross too.
I can't wait. I hope I meet him and I can be like, dude, how were they? Hell yeah, they're pretty sick, huh? All right, cool, man. Thanks for bringing them back.
You should tell him you have like an ear fungus though, like really mess with his mind.
I mean, I probably do.
Okay.
Y'all ever just like be sitting there and then you feel something hit your ear and it's just a giant piece of earwax and just dislodged like a stalactite and it just falls out? I have that happen once every couple of weeks where a piece of earwax so large falls out of my ear that I can feel it tumbling down.
I have no words for this. Like,
what?
I don't.
Yeah.
Brother, can I interest you in a Q-tip?
A boulder that breaks off of a cliff face due to erosion.
Hey, you know Q-tip's not for art and crafts. They put it on the box so they can't get sued.
Whoa.
Let's
Be careful with them Q-tips now, dog.
Let's be careful with earwax falling off of our ear.
My wife, I swear, if I let my wife Q-tip me the way she wants, my eardrums would be burst and bleeding. That woman tries to deep Q-tip like no respect for what the human body should be able to take.
Okay. Let's take a break because I don't know what to do with the Q-tip information. We'll come back. We'll talk Brian Kelly.
Crazy.
T-Bob, I think, is in Greece by this background. More OTB when we come back. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
Just don't know what to say about the Q-tipping. Centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org. T-Bob's ears are clogged. If your toilets are clogged, call Central Plumbing. 225-925-8552. 24/7, 365. Nights, weekends, holidays, game days, does not matter. If you have an emergency, they can come out. They will come out, and they will fix it. Now, always remember, it's Central Plumbing, but it's not just Central. We're talking Prairieville, Baton Rouge, Zachary. I mean, the surrounding area. Anywhere in the greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you. Again, go to the website, centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. 925-8552. 50 years of experience. They've seen it all. They can fix it all, guys. It's the flat rate pricing for me that I love. One of the many reasons. It's really also about who comes into your home. Licensed monitor, they send you information ahead of time. You can trust them. It's the experience. It's the size of the fleet. It's a 24/7 emergency service. It's everything. Centralplumbing.org.
There it is. The extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
All right, welcome back in OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Oh, T-Bob is back. I was about to say, I think T-Bob's going full Carl on that front desk right now.
It's not good. It's not looking good.
Oh, no.
It appears that Christina, who I talked to this morning, I thought she was starting her shift. That's not the case. She must have been wrapping up because she is gone, and the new woman has no idea what Christina's talking about. So I asked her to get in touch with Christina, or whoever was working the wine and cheese hour. And it was very weird to explain to the person that I was like, I don't really know how to say this. I know this sounds odd, but I was told that somebody found them and said, if the customer comes asking, tell them that I'm borrowing them.
Yeah.
And so basically I was like, look, just please just get in touch with Christina. Leave me 11:30. I'll call back in a couple hours or an hour or something. So
all right.
We'll see.
All right.
It's not looking good for the
good.
headphones.
Hey, we're about to get to the Brian Kelly sound, but Alondra and Jacob did some great investigative reporting, and they found out Dennis Allen. You want to know what the issue is?
No, what is it?
He's an Aggie.
I know. I did know that, actually.
I think I did at one point because I think Lucci told us one time when we were all together, and I forgot.
Yeah, bro, that's one of Lucci's boys. But Dan Campbell's an Aggie, too.
He's the exception.
I'm just saying.
That's probably the grittiest Aggie
that
I've ever. Yeah.
Dad Nguyen's probably pretty gritty, dude.
Yeah, but not Dan Campbell.
T-Bob, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think the guy exists, and I think Christina took your headphones.
I think the chances of I think I should get very comfortable reading this flight.
Yeah.
Because the chances of me having headphones on the way home are
what airline are you?
Slim to none. American.
Oh yeah. I was say if you're Delta, they got TVs. At least you could plug those that you're wearing into the American. You're screwed. Yeah. Unless you got like the little adapter.
I'm actually very excited. I got a comic book that I've always wanted to buy. But I never have. And I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and then I went into this awesome gaming and comic book store yesterday called like Odin Skiffs or like Odin and Thor or something Viking. And I got this book, Transmetropolitan, about a journalist, Spider Jerusalem is his name. And I've always wanted to read it. Hell of a name, I know. I've always wanted to read it.
That tickled something in my
started
brain.
Yesterday in Wine and Cheese Hour. It's great.
I don't know why I've heard that before, but that tickled a memory.
Spider Jerusalem, he was pretty big back in the day. I think maybe like early 2000s is maybe when it was being written.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll report back on it when I finish reading it.
All right. Let's get to Brian Kelly on the bye week last week and how it went.
Last week, obviously, an off week for us. I got a chance to really work on a number of things that needed improvement within our team. As earlier in the season, it wasn't really a recovery week for us as much as it was, shore up some things offensively, defensively, and special teams. I thought we had a great week. Gave the guys the opportunity on Friday and Saturday to recovery, and then we were back at it with meetings and weight training yesterday.
T, one of the things that I hadn't really paid much attention to, but you look at a bye week, you hear Brian Kelly work on some things, whatever. They have a ton of true freshmen that are playing on this defense. And so a lot of bye weeks, it's about like rest and recovery, get the young guys some time in case something happened. Well, something happened, and they have the young guys in right now. So probably a little bit of a different bye week experience than it typically would have been.
No, he said it from he said it from the end of the South Alabama game that this was going to be a work week. They were in full pads, I believe, on Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know if they've went full like scrimmage, but I would bet you they practice kind of scrimmage adjacent.
Young guys go.
Yeah, exactly. So the young guys are the guys, right? And it's what he said. Look, man, also they're young. They got legs. Like, they are not at a place where they can afford to take a rest week. Now, later in the year, in November, when you're in the midst of a 7-game SEC run, you're almost forced to take a rest week. And it's not like you still don't get rest, right? I mean, they're still not doing anything. I believe Friday morning or either Thursday evening was the last thing that they did. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then you come back on Monday. So, you still get your legs underneath you. But, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world that they would take advantage of this time to really continue to educate, to work, to be an assignment sound ahead of an Ole Miss game where they're really going to try to stress you in your assignment discipline.
Yeah, T-Bob, and he did talk about some of the freshmen that are playing, true freshmen. We're not talking about redshirt freshmen here. We're talking about true freshmen that are not only playing but being counted on this team.
I think what it allows them to do is look at the game from a perspective of you still have to be able to play it as if you were in high school. And so what I mean by that is you still have to play fast. You can't overanalyze this game. And I think when you're young, you have a tendency to take in too much information, and it slows you down. They have to let their talents speak for themselves. Now, it doesn't mean you forget all your teachings and you don't trust what you've been taught, but there has to be that end of, I need to go play. And I need to let it go. And I think the bye week allows them to kind of look at it and say, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I've been coached. I have the technique down. Now I just need to let it go. And I think that that's the opportunity for them.
That's such a great point, and we've all gone through it before. I can remember being a true freshman in the swamp, and it's like, hey, if this linebacker comes, he's your guy. But if that guy comes, it's the running back. But if your guy doesn't come and that guy comes, it's no longer the running back. It's yours. And I'm like, wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense. And it's like said Hut. You're like, oh, God, what do I do? And you sit there patrolling the area because you can't play as fast as you want to go because, well, it's just so much different. And so to his point, these players now, they've got starts under their belt. They kind of know what to expect in college football. And that's what it is. It's about, how fast can you go? Can you go at a speed that you've always played at because you're not thinking?
Yeah, I mean, that was the entire – and in the press conference yesterday, he talked about that was kind of the entire difference in last year's defense, trying to do too much, way too much thinking. And I always think about it in an allocation of resources sense, like a Star Trek sense, right? I mean, full power to the shields. You have finite resources. And when you're having to commit more of them to the mental side, you have to take away from the physical side. And so ideally, you want that mental stuff to be happening almost at a subconscious level so that your physicality can completely take over.
Yeah. All right. We will step away. More Brian Kelly sound when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
T-Bob, why don't you tell the people all the great things about Oak Lodge and Park 73?
Yeah, man, go to oakparkevents.com, oakparkevents.com. I talk about them every day, guys. If you're having a corporate event, okay, whether it's maybe it's a corporate retreat, maybe it's you met a big sales goal, you want to have a celebration, maybe it's a Christmas party, we still got a few dates left for those. If you're setting up networking breakfasts or luncheons, meetings, all-day seminars, crawfish barrels in the spring, company picnics, elegant dinners, all of this at oakparkevents.com. And the versatility is really how we separate, right? The decor, the vibe, whether it's one of the venues then Oak Lodge or Park 73, we can match your vibe, match your decor, match your food to whatever you want it to be. So book a free consultation day. Go to oakparkevents.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Let's get back to breaking down the film on Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back into OTB, continuing talking LSU's bye week a week ago, some of the things that they did. Here is Brian Kelly on evaluating the personnel during the bye week.
You know, the first thing you do is an exhaustive self-scout, right? What are your tendencies? What tendencies do you need to break? And are there things there that you're doing really well that you want to build on, or not so well that you need to certainly work on in the bye week? Then it's the evaluation of, you know, the body of work through those first 5 weeks. You know, who are the guys that have built that trust that you can put on the field? So as you go into these 7 weeks of SEC opponents, those are the guys that you want on the field. So I think we've done both from a technical and tactical standpoint, the work necessary, and then from a personnel standpoint, who are the guys that we want to put on the field? That's been really a lot of the work this past week.
T-Bob, if you had to look at a position group that you feel like benefited from a bye week the most for LSU, who would you point to?
Well, I think it's hard for me not to choose the group that needs the most work, which would be the defensive backs. And maybe it's a situation where in self-scout they figure out what have we been calling that's working, what hasn't, how do we put these guys in a better position. I mean, again, you hear Kelly talking about shrinking the rotation, something he's mentioned in multiple press conferences recently, where basically everything up to this point has been a bit of a fact-finding mission. And now you got to roll with the guys that you believe are the guys going forward. So, like, maybe defensive backs are the more solidified rotation, maybe a better understanding of what they're being asked to do and a better understanding of the coaches about what they're strong at. But I guess really anywhere where the young guys are predominant. So you could also point to the interior offensive line, certainly Caden Durham. And, yeah, there is a lot of youth there in the defensive backfield. So I'd say the DBs.
Yeah, it's probably the right answer. I think I agree with you there because you don't know exactly maybe how that rotation is going to play out I think even on the defensive line, where we've talked about probably more than any position in the preseason, in the early season, I think you kind of know what that looks like. Like, you now have a good idea of what the edge rotation looks like. Even the defensive tackle rotation, it's a lot of guys, but I think you kind of, all right, this guy's going to play 60%, this guy's 30%, this guy's going to play about 5 snaps a game. I think you actually have that kind of figured out, where the defensive backs, I think because you had the Perkins injury after you moved him to star, now you're moving guys back to star, moving guys to safety, moving corners to safety. That's not really solidified yet.
Yeah, so you got to figure out who are the actual guys that you're rolling with. It's probably a healthy Alexander into Ashton Stamps, and then is it Sage Ryan and Deshaun McBride, or who do you think the safeties are?
Yeah, I mean, I would think Deshaun Spears, Sage Ryan, and then Jordan Allen's probably like the third guy there, right?
Yeah. And you got to
Gilbert as well.
There is some interesting injury news we can get into next hour for Ole Miss, though, that may represent a bit of a break for LSU.
And we'll hit it when we come back on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to the website, yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. Because, well, you want to live your life without fear or embarrassment, well, you need to get a consultation set up. And we tell you every single day when you go to that website, you can check out a full list of things that they can help you out with. There is no reason to have that fear. There's no reason to have that embarrassment. These are things that people go through, and they are here to help you over at Goodwood. So you can go to the website again, get everything set up, get the consultation set up. You can always pick up the phone, call them at 225-4GD-WOOD. That's yourgoodwood.com.
That's right, baby, and it's affordable and transparent. Because, look, we know that men's health can be expensive, but not at Goodwood. You'll find treatment plans starting at just $125, no hidden fees, no surprise contracts, all upfront and transparent. So, again, guys, stop being embarrassed. Take the initiative. Take control of your life and your health with yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink, or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Come in if you dare.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Aren't you scared?
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
All right, welcome back in. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Continuing to break down LSU and Ole Miss. Take a look at a massive game inside Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. T-Bob, we talked about it yesterday as far as how aggressive LSU was and the coverages they played, and they're bringing at least 5 guys most of the time. You know, brought 6, brought 7, certainly a fair amount as well. That's who they are. That's who Blake Baker is. Do you think that that's what we'll see coming up in this game against the high-powered Ole Miss offense?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think that kind of like we landed on when discussing it, I don't know that I see a world in which you're going to come out here and just change what you do, right? Especially when we have these comments from Brian Kelly about, look, we need to stop thinking. We're trying to do too, or, you know, that in the past, last year, we were thinking too much. We were trying to do too much. This year, we've done a better job of doing less thinking, more playing. Well, if you just try to suddenly say, okay, for this week, suddenly we're going to be a mainly cover 2 team or mainly cover 3. We're going to prioritize. We're only going to rush 4. Like, if you just try to change everything up, well, then you run the risk of doing just that, of thinking too much. So, no, I mean, I think you engage with a bit of a risky strategy here. I think you accept that you're going to get gashed at times in order to try to create negative plays and kill drives. And I think that you just have to hope that when you do get gashed, that your back end is strong enough from stopping it from turning into touchdowns and making them continue to work. And some of that could help in that regard, Jake, is I am not sure if Trey Harris is going to play in this game or not. For those that don't know, Trey Harris played the first half last week for Ole Miss. You know, in a half a play, I think he has like 3 catches, like 80-something yards. He does not play the second half after suffering an injury. And granted, the offense didn't look nearly as good as the second half, but also they only threw 1 pass in the fourth, so let's not read too much into it. But here's what Lane Kiffin had to say when asked at his weekly press conference about Trey Harris. Quote, "We don't really get into much detail on that. He didn't finish the first half and wasn't close to going back in the second half. He certainly wouldn't be playing today. So we have to get the other guys ready, and we have to perform better than we did in that second half when we scored 3 points. Now we only do 1 pass fourth quarter. That makes us move people in different spots. So when he's out, so we're preparing to do that, preparing to play without him. Maybe a bit of gamesmanship from Lane there, but if Trey Harris does not play on Saturday, that would be a massive break for LSU."
Well, okay, I think we actually do, T-Bob, have that sound of Lane Kiffin talking about that. Maybe we can kind of hear some of his body language in this answer.
I mean, we don't, as you guys know, we don't really get into much detail on that. You know, he couldn't finish the first half and wasn't really close to going back in the second half. And he certainly wouldn't be playing today. So, you know, we got to get the other guys ready. We got to perform better than we did in the second half without him. We only had 3 points. Now, we only threw 1 pass in the fourth quarter. But, you know, that makes us move people in different spots when he's out. So we're preparing to do that and preparing to play without him.
Trey Harris is the leading receiver in the country by over 170 yards. Not the SEC, in the country by 170 yards. He has 885 yards so far on the year. Now, you always expect a player to play, and then you're surprised maybe if they don't suit up on Saturday. But if he's out or if he's only 80%, now 80% of Trey Harris is still really, really good, but he's played as the best receiver in the country, and so his availability on Saturday is going to be a key to this game.
Without a doubt. Because, look, Juice Wells, Jordan Watkins, they're still really good. But, again, like you said, they're not close to Trey Harris level right now. And when we talked about yesterday, we mentioned, okay, what's the most important piece? What's the piece you're most worried about from Ole Miss? We both independently arrived at Trey Harris. I mean, he is a superstar player at a position that is specifically designed to affect your greatest weakness, right? If you look at it from a Saints perspective, it's not unlike going against a Chris Jones or going against a Jalen Carter, right? Great players that are specifically well-positioned to exploiting your weakness. So no Trey Harris would be a massive, massive break. That said, I don't trust anything Lane's talking about here. I think he wants you to get comfortable with the idea that he may not play, and then maybe he does. And either way, when Jake, do they have to? When does he have to release?
It's Thursday, right? Is it Thursday or Wednesday?
I believe, right?
I think it's Thursday.
So that's what we'll say. For now, let's just stay in a holding pattern. And on Thursday and Friday and into the weekend, with the official injury reports that the SEC now requires, we'll know more about Harris's availability. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And you never want to hope for anything like this. But again, when you're an underdog, like I believe LSU is going into this weekend, you'll take any break that you can get.
And you look at how much they've used him this year, because T-Bob mentioned Juice Wells and Jordan Watkins and others. Trey Harris has 52 catches. Juice Wells is second on the team with 17. And Jordan Watkins has 10 catches. Now he's been explosive. He's got 21 yards per catch, but 10 catches. Caden Lee even has 18. So Trey Harris is by far the most dominant Ole Miss receiver. And earlier we were talking about maybe blueprint, game plan, how that was going to play out. And Brian Kelly was asked about maybe trying to replicate some of what Kentucky did in their game plan.
If you keep Jackson Dart, if you keep Trey Harris, if you keep that offense off the field, that is definitely part of the success that teams can and will have against an outstanding scheme and a great play caller. Lane and Charlie do a great job, and they work together on that, but it's a really difficult offense. They have really good schemes. They're really sound and fundamental, and they take advantage of what you're doing. So if you can win that game of possession time, you are at a clear advantage. But you've got to score points, too. It can't be, always, just possession. You have to eventualize yourself in a sense of putting points on the board.
T-Bob, can LSU do those things that he's talking about, keeping Jackson Dart and Trey Harris and all the weapons off the field? Kentucky, you said it yesterday, right? They get the play clock all the way down to 1, and they're trying to run the football. They had Q runs. Well, those aren't things that LSU does.
No, but LSU is a veteran offense. And so, like, we just talked about the defense and how I'd be a bit wary to throw in too many wrinkles, because at times you have 5 freshmen on the field, and they're not people who can necessarily handle just like single game adjustments like vets can. On the offensive side of the ball, the opposite is true. You are loaded down with vets everywhere. If you wanted to say this week we are going to operate at a slower tempo, I do think you actually could. I know that I've said in the past, I don't think many teams are going to be capable of recreating what Kentucky did, because they're so committed to that tempo at a time when everybody else kind of likes to go fast. But LSU's somewhere in the middle. They don't go especially fast. They can use tempo if they have to, but they can also go slower. I think the key, if you want to affect that strategy, the real key is staying on schedule, creating third and manageable, and then converting on third down. That is going to be, if you're talking about stats, what that will decide this game. In the same way, Vanderbilt went 13 of 18 on third down the other night to hold the ball for 42 minutes against Alabama. If you do want to do what Coach Kelly's talking about there and keep Ole Miss off the field, it's going to all come down to third down. Now, thankfully for LSU, you're currently third in the SEC, converting 51% of your third downs. So if you can be 50% plus, you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance of limiting Ole Miss's offensive opportunities.
The job, you mentioned Vanderbilt, and I couldn't help but want to wax poetic about Tim Beck and the job that he did. It was, and I said this yesterday, it was a masterclass of offensive play calling by Vanderbilt. Why were they so successful on third down? Because they set it up on first down. Everything they did on first and second down was to set up third down. They countered off their plays. They gave you what you thought was going to be, this basic play on first down, and then they had a variation of it on third down that completely caught you off guard, and they did it time and time. You know what kind of patience it takes from an offensive coordinator to do that? You're not throwing the play away on first down. You're getting 3-4 yards, but you did it knowing you were setting something up on third down, and they did it consistently throughout the game. I call plays for youth flag football, and I'm like, oh, the play. You get so excited. You're like, let me call the play. It's like, no, you haven't set up the play. You haven't shown them something that's going to make them bite on the play or whatever it might be. And for Tim Beck to do that, in that moment, that's how you're successful on third down. One, you don't get into 3rd and 11 because you're still on schedule.
Yeah.
And you set it up on the first 2 downs. That's kind of the thing that LSU needs to do, because they're not Kentucky. That is not their style. But they can do what Vanderbilt did, right? And so this is going to be just a big, play calling. What are we doing? Does what we're doing on first and second down have a purpose for third down? Because again, Tim Beck just showed us one of the best examples I've ever seen in my life on how to call a game.
Well, and if we dive back into the Kentucky-Ole Miss box score, it's a bit interesting because Kentucky wasn't great on third down. They were only 4 of 16, but they were 3 of 3 on fourth down.
That was for you. Mark Stoops said, this is for you, T-Bob.
I know. And they did total 22 first down, Ole Miss's 14. They ended up holding the ball 40 minutes to 20 minutes. But the key there is, while Kentucky was only 4 of 16, they held Ole Miss to just 1 of 10 on third down. I don't think LSU's defense will be able to recreate that same performance that the Wildcats did. So I believe to make up for whatever the gap is between the two defenses, that's where the LSU offense, I fully expect, will outperform Kentucky. But if we look at those two box scores, I think LSU's path to winning that time possession battle is much more along the Vanderbilt line, converting on third down, extending drives offensively, whereas Kentucky, it seems like they did enough of that offensively, but kind of did the majority of their heavy lifting, consistently getting off the field on third down.
Yeah, I would love to kind of go back to and kind of see some of the things that they were doing, kind of dive into the analytics of what Kentucky was successful with on some of those big plays, certainly the fourth downs. Also, to go back and see what they did defensively, how aggressive were they? Because we talked about Kentucky's front seven. It's definitely the strength of their defense. And when you can get pressure by bringing only 4, that's going to help you. But again, that's just not who you are. So it's that's the mind game, going inside your own head. If you're a Blake Baker, it's man, okay, well, Kentucky kind of did this, but we do this. How much of what they did do we try to implement, but even though it's not us?
Yeah, and look, man, we'll see. We'll see. That's why this entire defensive staff gets paid so much money, is to put together game plans. You're going to put their players in a position to succeed, regardless if they're at a personnel disadvantage or not. And I'm going to be fascinated. Because look, Death Valley has not been a kind place to Ole Miss traditionally. In fact, it may be time to dive into Wikipedia and see when the last time they won there was. Earlier, we had somebody in the chat say, give me Trey Harris's stats against Kentucky and South Carolina. I don't care about any of the other games. Against Kentucky, he had 11 for 176 and a touchdown. And against South Carolina in one half of football, he had 3 for 81. So, yeah, it's not like he was just stacking stats on bad teams. He's played consistently awesome every single game of the year.
While you were talking about Trey Harris, I was looking up Kentucky and how they played Ole Miss as far as bringing pressure. They were pretty aggressive. They brought at least 6, 42.9% of the time.
Damn. That's normally, I feel like with a quarterback as veteran as Jackson Dart, that normally gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
Credit to Kentucky's DBs playing well on the back end, and then credit to the rush for getting home and making Dart uncomfortable.
The last time Ole Miss won in Death Valley was in 2008.
2008?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a
T-Bob,
hot minute,
what'd y'all let them win in 2008?
31-13.
Whoa.
I had a torn ACL. It's not on me. It's not on me. That was, I told you, that was the year after the national championship. We went 3-5 in the SEC. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah.
3-5.
Oh, I do. I lost a lot of money in the locker room because you can't turn down a bet when you're
an idiot.
an alma mater.
What are you doing
can't turn
betting
down
on
a
a
bet.
3-5 SEC team? What are you, a Kentucky fan?
No, I have the chest to do it. And then what Les said?
Yeah, talking about Gunnar Keel. Didn't have the chest.
Yeah. No, you can't turn down a bet. Like, you can't get points and you can't turn down a bet. It is what it is. It's all right. In 2011, y'all made me a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like a
damn
lot.
right. Till the end.
Well, I was already gone, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I was traveling to
it's
the
true.
game, and so we didn't have the bets in the locker room, and so I didn't lose it all back.
No, you just lost it all paying for tickets to the game.
Oh, that I did. Oh my, between flights from San Diego to New Orleans for the whole family, 2 hotels, for one for the family, and then one for who was watching the kiddos, and then tickets to the game. Yeah, you're right. Played it all
That
back.
is the thing that bums me out more than anything in the world is all the hard-earned money that people spend on that game. What a just sad, sad state of affairs.
Oh, who I sat next to? I think Lewis Coleman, great LSU baseball player, a longtime MLB player. And when I say he was even more upset than I was, like this man was living through every single play. And he was one of the ones, even like in the fourth quarter, when I kind of, I knew, I know the game flow of a football game, and I knew it's like, there's no way. But like he still thought there was a chance. I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, Lou.
Shout out Lewis Coleman. Sounds like a real one.
He was. The entire game, he was just locked in. All right, we will take a break here. Go ahead and get your mailbag questions inside the Bayou Ford chat. We'll get to as many as we can here coming up in the next segment. We'll be back. OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. So if you're buying new, if you're leasing, if you're renting, everything is available. And we tell you that every day because you're just not going to find that anywhere else. When you're leasing, you have like a couple of options. Now when you're buying new, of course, questions today and get that done, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com.
Is he Branson?
Branson, just the whitest of white.
Wow. Well, like Jake said, you want to go to Branson, get yourself a minivan for the trip over there at All-Star. And remember, guys, the Collision Center, the Service Center, open to all makes and models. Don't have to be Toyota, don't have to be All-Star. They're the best. All-Star Toyota, Baton Rouge.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques, Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back in to the best sports-ish show around. OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. It is now time for OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, OTB Mailbag. When was the last time you legit fell down and hit the ground like a toddler learning to walk?
Dude. This sucks. This really sucks. But my knees are forever scarred because of Luke Betts. And it's a huge bummer.
Hey now.
And I know how that sounds. But we were playing tennis, and he hit me with this drop shot, and I thought I was going to charge it. I thought I was going to get there, and I try to charge as hard as I can, and I like do like a superhero anime power-up. And right when I go to take that first step, my foot just completely slips out from under me, slam my knee. I do a full forward roll onto my back, my knee's bleeding everywhere. And now I have a freaking knee burn scar from stupid ass Luke Betts drop shotting me in just a for fun tennis game.
All right.
He has literally left his mark on me, and it makes me angry.
All right, so Luke made you roll around onto your stomach. Alondra, when's the last time that you fell?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Probably I'm like the last time that I can think about, of course, was like a couple cups deep into some tequila.
Yeah.
And
you fell into tequila?
No, so like the tequila was in me, and then the floor was a little slippery, and I just kind of like busted my ass, and I had bruises on my knees the next day.
I think the last time like that, it was Flynn's birthday party a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
We were all in the pool, and then we got out the pool, and like I just had one of those. I just fell into the bushes.
Oh,
just
goodness.
was standing up, and I could feel myself slowly falling, and there was no stopping it.
Oof, that was a night. Jacob, you got anything?
Yeah, I had something similar to you a couple of months ago. I was playing pickleball, and somebody hit a drop shot, and I was running up to the net to try to hit it, and I hit it over the net, but I like fell and rolled over a couple of times. It wasn't pretty.
About 2 years ago.
2 years, wow.
I know this because of what happened. About 2 years ago, I'm walking in the middle of the night trying to, go use the restroom, and I guess one of the boys had like showered and the tile floor was slippery and I slipped on it, and I went to go catch myself and I made a fist. Instead of making like open hands and catch yourself, I don't know why I made a fist.
Ooh.
And my knuckle hit like the framing of the door.
Ooh.
And when I say like it was a mountain, like my knuckle was 4 times its size, black and blue for like a week. It was bad.
All-time bad feeling is how much worse falling feels the older you get. And I know that hole goes way, way deeper, but it's just such a bad feeling.
What's funny to me is like when you're about to fall and you can't do anything about it, so you just kind of let the fall happen. And
that's good though. When you hit that like adrenaline time slow and everything slows down, letting your body relax into the fall is better than tensing up into it for sure. Roll with the fall. Be like water, like Bruce Lee says.
Yeah. But people falling is hilarious to me.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's so funny.
Wow, Alondra likes to watch old people fall. Way to go, Alondra.
It's funnier when they're old,
Wow, I hope you're happy, dude. I hope you're happy. So was it funny when my mom fell on her bike the other day? Alondra,
if I would have seen it, I probably would have laughed, yeah.
Was that funny when she had to get staples in her head, Alondra? Was
yeah,
that
the
funny
injury, extra
Teresa,
points for injury.
What are we doing? You got going on? Where are you biking at? All right.
Is she okay though?
Yeah.
No,
Is
she's
she good?
fine.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Can we start borrowing anything from T-Bob and never returning it?
I mean, I guess so. I don't think I have. I'm about at a 5% that I'm getting those headphones back, dude. Also, by the way, I looked it up, and Q-tips are bad for you.
Yeah, so is earwax falling out of your ear.
You know what else is bad for you?
No.
Sunscreen, and you wear it all the time.
Yep.
No. Q-tips can scratch, irritate, or cut the ear canal. Insert a Q-tip too far, deep tipping.
Well,
exactly what I was talking about.
Know the limitations of it.
So you just do a little tip drill.
It's just the head.
Which can lead to pain, bleeding, hearing loss, and infection.
No,
it can also impact your earwax, pushing it deeper in the ear canal, leading to discomfort,
Let me tell you something.
muffled hearing.
I ain't never had earwax fall out of my ear and me feel it. So I feel like I'm doing something that's better than what you're currently doing.
Why? My ears.
If I'm talking with you and earwax falls out of your ear,
I'm throwing up.
Yeah, I'm gagging.
Yeah.
Earwax is good for me. She thinks it's smart people and we're the poor people.
All right, King Curtis.
What did old King Curtis say back in the day?
Biking is good for me.
She's a fancy one.
She thinks she can catch me in those little high heels.
We're the sorry people.
So, like, hearing this, I can't believe somebody took T-Bob's headphones and would use them, knowing all that wax is on there.
I know. Maybe they still
Joke's on you. You two now have an earwax problem.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. T-Bob, do you have any Wolf and Shepherds I can borrow?
Nope. Those two got borrowed recently, never to come back. No. Shout out my guy, though. One of my best friends from high school actually started that company. It's always awesome to see people just go on to be infinitely more successful than you.
Maybe you should start a shoe company.
Yeah, that's all. Why not, right?
With some trackers on it.
Yeah, shoe company, though. But you got to make adult sizes. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Do you have a hero? And if so, who is it?
Muhammad Ali.
Mine used to be Jake Hester until I figured out he's a Florida fan. And I've seen the photographic evidence. There's actually pictures of Jake in Florida overalls. Beck, if you go look it up, Alondra can give you the link.
No,
there are pictures of Jake
don't pull that
in
up on
Florida
this show.
overalls, gator tattoo on the arm.
I
hate to see it. I hate to see it. He used to be my hero, guys. 4th and 1. I'm at the touchdown club last night. Yeah, I'm talking to some Gator fans about 4th and 1. And then I had to break the news that, hey, guys, Jake's actually a Gator fan with y'all now. It's crazy.
Yeah. T-Bot, it's on site, by the way. Just letting you know. I know, and we all know.
Watch out. My robot child is Legion.
I'm just letting you know. It's on site. There's one thing I don't mess with. That's me being a Florida fan.
Could have fooled me. If I had to say, if there's one thing, if for real, I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be cliche and cheesy, but I would say my old man.
Family members for sure. Got a ton of family members. That would be that. But like, if we're talking about someone like I don't know hero, Mike Allstott, of course. Mike Allstott.
Don't know. I mean, bro, I got a lot of respect for like. Well, I don't know. Hero's rough. I mean, I love filmmakers. I love like George Lucas, Spielberg, Peter Jackson. I don't know.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Don't find it.
FDR is fascinating.
Yeah.
FDR is
It
fascinating.
is very fascinating. He's got a ton of stuff. I mean, if we're talking like heroes, like there's a lot of like people. Oh God, you really did pull that up.
There it is. Pull it up, guys.
That's such a bad
upon it.
Photoshop. Like, hey T-Bot, if you're going to spend time doing something like that, like there's plenty of
It's
apps.
not a Photoshop.
There's plenty of apps that you can do a better job.
You know
with
what
that.
else is in
And
Photoshop?
I
Pull
can do
up
it like
the-
in 3 minutes.
Pull up the picture of T-Bob with P. Diddy.
No. That is a Photoshop.
No, it's not.
That is absolutely a Photoshop. Jake's is not. That one is, guys. Okay? I have never been to a freak off. I want to be unequivocal about that. I'm stating publicly, for the public record, I have never attended a freak off.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. When was the last time as a grown adult you let someone just take something of yours and just didn't do anything about
Never.
it, like a baby back blank?
Never. Nobody would ever be able to punk me like that.
I'll make sure to assault Christina next time. I'm just gonna beat up this woman right
Why are
there
you
in
going
the
straight to
lobby.
violence? You can't get it done with your words?
Right.
What
The
what
pen
was
is
I gonna
mightier than
say?
the sword.
Hey, Christina, I'm going to have to speak to somebody that's a little bit higher up than you because I'm going to
I
need to
need
get to
those
the bottom of
headphones.
this. And if you're the manager, then I need your manager's manager.
Oh wait, so apparently the theft of T-Bob's headphones was actually Diddy. There's a picture of him wearing his
No.
headphones.
Oh wow!
Goodness.
Not true.
This
not
is
true.
not good, T-Bob. The optics aren't
That
great for you.
Photoshop. Hey T-Bot, there's better apps out there. You can do better
Here it is.
photoshopping.
Oh God,
Okay.
those are it. I've
Those
seen them
are your
before. Those are
headphones.
those headphones that you wear. So are you?
I have no comment.
Are you staying like at Diddy's hotel or something? What are we doing?
If I am staying at Diddy's hotel, there's been a distinct lack of baby oil.
Mm.
'Cause it got all
I
seized.
remember everything. I do not appear to have been rehypnoled or anything. And I seem to be walking fine. I haven't woken up with any unexplained anal pain.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm staying.
OTB Mailbag. Can my former 14-year-old self get a refund for the 30 presents I had to open to get to the envelope with the 2011 National Championship tickets?
Yikes.
Yeah, you can get that refund as soon as I get paid all my unpaid NIL wages. Okay, let me get my few $100K, then I'll spare you some of that money for those tickets.
You can't even get headphones back. You want money?
Yeah.
I know, true.
Hashtag OTB
True.
Mailbag. Did you know that Ryan Williams is the first 17-year-old Gump to lose to Vanderbilt?
I did not. I hadn't thought about that.
Dude's out here setting records.
Setting records every single day. Good call, Landra. I'm still fascinated by the Malachi Moore stuff. Of course,
Yeah, that's
Malachi Moore
that's
coming
a
out
captain. That's like
apologizing.
somebody that's been there for 5 years. A lot of people thought that, oh, this freshman's wild now. That ain't a freshman. He's been there for 5 years and as a captain.
Yeah, and look, I think I was interested how DeBoer played it. I think he played it fine. He had Moore's back. Moore was also kind of one of the first ones that when DeBoer got the job really stumped for him among the players base. So it makes sense that he would have his back. It was interesting though hearing what running back was talking about it. Crap.
Oh, I was gonna say I have Kane Womack talking about it.
Oh, what does Kane Womack say? I want to hear this.
Okay.
Oh, shout out Kane.
Well,
yeah, shout out
you know,
Kane. That defense sucks.
You know, Malachi Moore, I'm not sure anybody cares more about Alabama football than Malachi. And, in that moment, when emotions are running high, certainly, he has been held accountable, for some of the actions and the penalty that incurred there at the end of the game. I think Malachi's handled it really well with his teammates. We are, continuing to work to make sure that we address it the right way across the board. But I got to tell you, when we first got here, Malachi has had our back from day one as a coaching staff coming in. He's been incredibly supportive. He's been a great leader for our players, and really does things to the level and standard that we would want them to. Just in that moment, I think got a little bit emotional, and so in that moment we were going to try to settle him down just a little bit. Sometimes those situations, it's better just to let them calm at a later time. So, but again, I thought he has handled things really well since that point, and has taken the level of accountability that Coach DeBoer implemented, and has done a really good job moving forward.
Look, if that's a young player, I think you have to get him in trouble, maybe the suspension or something. Given the fact that he is a two-time captain, fifth-year senior, and that's kind of out of character for him, I think they're playing this the correct way. You have your guys back. You keep it moving. He's earned one gaffe in his 5 years of service, I would say.
Yeah, like kicking the ball is wild behavior. Like in the moment, I do understand. Like when you lose it, like whatever that point is, and we've probably all been there. Like you don't really think about the repercussions of like what you're doing, and you're mad, you're frustrated, and it seemed like he was mad with his teammates, not just himself. I don't know. Like you can't kick the ball like that. That's going to be a clip that NFL teams are going to ask him about over and over and over again. But again, it isn't like he's got a history of this. And so I think, yeah, hey, look, some discipline, then you move on, because he is somebody that does have the ear of the team. Last one here. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Are we upset at Groupie for pulling up in a Royals jersey and going?
He's knocking at the door.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Give me all the tea.
No, for real. Wait.
Yeah, we got to mute him.
I was gonna turn it up, but maybe
we want the
actually,
tea, but we don't want the tea.
You're right.
How do we feel about Groupie pulling up to the game in a Royals jersey going against the Kansas City Chiefs? T-Bob, Groupie, Royals jersey, how are we feeling?
I thought it was a pretty home move.
Okay.
Is he from Kansas City or something?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. He looked real suspect, though. We can get to all that. We're late for a break. Let's take that break.
Headphones, guy.
I was going to tease it. I was going to keep the people just waiting to hear.
He ruined that.
Hey,
one.
did T-Bob get his headphones back? Stay tuned to find out.
Off the bench.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. Coleman Roofing and Construction. ColemanRoof.com is the website. Residential, commercial roofing throughout the state of Louisiana. When you go to the website, it has all the contact information at the top of the site. Gonzales, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Houma, Lafayette, but they are throughout the state, certainly in the commercial roofing game. Look right there at the homepage. Look at the building. Look at the job that they can get done. As you'll see, there is no job that is going to be too big for Coleman, and they truly are that one-stop shop. That's where the construction part comes in. ColemanRoof.com.
Go to ColemanRoof.com today, guys. Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, most complete roofing company. Like, let's say a tree falls in your home. They do all of the construction. They rebuild the interior, right? And then they fix the roof. And I don't care what size project, commercial, residential, anywhere in the state, they go the extra mile to finish every job from estimate to clean up. Go to ColemanRoof.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best kept.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Want to remind you about K2Z window coverings, K2ZBlinds.com. Have Brandon Barton and the team come out. They are going to know your space, learn your space in like 5-10 minutes tops, and they're going to do things like put an outdoor shade on your kitchen space outdoors, and then have this just added huge benefit of shading your entire living room, cooling the entire space down, being able to watch football with no glares on the TV. I didn't know it, but they knew it. They're going to know it for you as well. K2ZBlinds.com. All right, T-Bob. A lot of people asking about what the knock on the door was. Fawn says, housekeeping. You got anything else in there we can borrow?
Yeah.
A lot of people wondering, was it Diddy that was knocking on the door?
I would say pretty ominously, it was housekeeping, but they brought me 5 bottles of baby oil. And when I said that, no, I was like, what are these for? They just walked away. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, what are these? So now I just have 5 bottles of baby oil sitting by the door, and I have no idea why.
They know why. I just can't believe that you're going to walk out of there headphoneless.
I'm hoping not. We still got a couple hours, but I'm hoping not. I got a question, though. Many people are going to hope for Spencer Rattler to be the savior of this Saints team. Many people would probably even want Derek Carr to be injured because they're so sick of it that they just want to see what's next. Do you have any belief that Spencer Rattler will be better than Derek Carr right now?
Like the last 3 game Derek Carr?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be – it can't be terribly worse. Like that's why it was so upsetting to see that interception. The way it was, just like back foot, throw it up. Oh, hell, we'll see what happens. Like, I can get a rookie to do that.
We're going to find out. I hope you're right.
So you don't think it's going to be Haener? You think it's going to be Spencer Rattler?
Oh, I'm saying I think it's probably going to be Haener, which shows you that. Like, whatever. I'm thinking, though, that both guys are just in really crappy situations if they do have to play. Because they're coming into a team where if Taysom doesn't play, there's no run support, there's no great weapons to throw to, and they're going to be excited. They're going to be expected to outdo a 14-year NFL vet.
Right, and I do get what you're saying, but again,
I would love to be wrong.
The thing, I can't keep talking about it enough because it was just shocking to me. A 14-year NFL vet having that play last night. Those are things why you have a 14-year NFL vet in there. If he's not going to have this high ceiling, you at least know he's going to make the smart decisions. And when you see stuff like that, that's what gets you so angry, at least for me.
That's what I'm saying, but I feel like that's going to happen more with the young guys, even more. Maybe
for sure.
I
think you're right.
Nothing would be more exciting than if Rattler just came in there and freaking balled. Haener would be a little less exciting, but still, I'll take it. And what a crazy – if one of those guys does have to start, though, what an insane first start where basically the entire Dennis Allen era is on the line on Sunday. So it's good luck, kid. Save the franchise.
And my job.
Yeah. You know, talk about getting thrown into the deep end. Sheesh.
I mean, I really do think that Spencer Rattler – having to play like he did the last 2 years behind just a very questionable offensive line, they know that. They drafted him. They watched the tape. Yeah. That would make me maybe play him before I did Jake Haener, knowing that he lived in the chaos.
Yeah, I don't hate the logic, but it's different having those college guys chasing you and those NFL guys chasing you.
Oh, I know. There's some passes that you got off that you're not going to be able to get off.
No, dude. Ooh, that'd be terrifying lineup behind this Saints line right now as a rookie trying to play QB.
2-0 felt so long ago.
It's injuries, man. It's injuries.
Yeah, okay.
This team was brittle. It was not a well-made team. It's not a well-made team.
It is, but you're exactly right. That's what we have to point to. It was not well-made because you're going to have injuries in the NFL. It's just going to happen. I know we got to take a break, but listen to this. We talked about the Chiefs' injuries and how they replaced it. Juju Smith-Schuster, 130 receiving yards, are his most in the game since the 2020 season in the wild card round. That was 1,366 days ago. Kareem Hunt's 102 rushing yards are his most in the game since 2020 as well. That was 1,422 days ago.
Bro, it's Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. We got Travis Kelce out here playing option for fun on 3rd and 22. Comparing the Saints to the Chiefs, you might as well. You might as well compare a small apartment to a mansion on St. Charles. They're just not the same thing. They're both technically a residence, a domicile where somebody lives, but they are not the same thing.
All right. Domicile? Domicile. What's a domicile?
Let's see.
It's like a home.
Well,
or a dwelling.
Man.
Okay.
Man. Let's freaking go, dude!
All right. On that note, domicile. We will take a break. Wrap up hour number 2 when we come back here, OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to getgordon.com. Getgordon.com is the website. You can get a free consultation set up on the website. You can ask a question when the chat window pulls up on the website. You can find cases that they can handle for you in the courtroom. You can find past client results You can see what they're doing in the community as well. All right there on the website. Again, getgordon.com. On all major social media, the handle @GetGordon, and you can see what they've got going on in the community, what they're doing with your favorite Tigers, what they're doing with your favorite athletes, really, throughout the state of Louisiana. And you always know you can pick up the phone, give them a call. It is your area code followed by 888-8888.
Yeah, man. And look, you join the G team, you get somebody who's going to fight for you, okay? There's a reason why Gordon's customers are always satisfied. Get somebody, stand the big insurance company, get you what you deserve. Get Gordon, get it done.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back into OTB. A reminder about our friends over at Pinnacle Exterior Construction. PECbuilt.com is the website. Pools, outdoor living spaces, fences, bulkheads. That's any kind of fence. Also, that is at your home or your business. They can also add that artificial turf to your space. You can have a putting green. You can have a place to work out. Who doesn't love putting their kids through parachutes and having a place to do it? I know I do, and you will as well. All right, we got, I think, confirmed Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, joining us in about 10 minutes from now to break down what happened last night in Kansas City. And T-Bob, I think you are exactly right. If you drop this one to Tampa Bay, after starting 2-0, you lose 4 in a row. Sure, at the end of the season, it does feel like it lightens up a little bit there. But the problem is you've got a couple of other teams in your division that are playing well and seem like they are on a much better path than you.
Yeah. Yeah. And, again, if we go back to before the season, before the 2-0 start, and I tell you, you're going to go 3-3 in the first 6, 10 out of 10 Saints fans would have taken that. Nobody would be upset. So even though that third win feels about a mile away right now, it's still, you still have that opportunity. Like, you can still erase all the bad. You can kind of save the season. You get to 3-3, and then you have an immediate turnaround to take on the Denver Broncos. Look, both games are in the Superdome, dude. You have to take advantage of being at home for these games, playing your best season. And we'll see, man. Do these players really want to play for Dennis Allen? I mean, I'm not saying that's going to guarantee a win, but like, how hard do they go? How much belief is there actually? Because they're fully aware of the settings going into these games as well.
And if
Chad's
you want
asking who 84 is, that's Mason Tipton, guys.
Make the catch. If you want an example, look at what Sam Pittman and the Arkansas team and how those players play for a coach that was on the hot seat coming into the season, and that's what you need to see from the Saints for their coach, because that seat is as hot as Sam Pittman's was coming into the year. All right, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Stop Football when we come back.
Off the bench.
All right, go to iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu, and we always encourage you. Like, the website's great, and it kind of gives you like a drone shot of the campus, which is set up for your success, but we cannot say it enough. Go see the campus for yourself. Schedule a campus tour today. Class is starting soon. It's right off Airline Highway. You'll be blown away, and they are ready for you. Again, they want to show you around their campus. Admissions at iticollege.edu is another way that you can apply. iticollege.edu.
Yeah, go to call 225-267-8003. That's 267-8003. That's the number to help the show if you want to show them that you came from OTB. But really, I just care about you getting in touch with them however you want. And taking advantage of, look, they have financial aid, flexible scheduling. You can work full-time while getting that degree over 2 years. Day class, night class, you get Fridays off. Beautiful campus here in Baton Rouge, family-owned. Go to iticollege.edu.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Enter at your own risk.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
It might even horrify you.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And it's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock, so you know we're going to go to our guy, Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football, who joins us now. Nick, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Doing good. How you doing?
We're doing okay, you know, fighting through what we saw in Kansas City last night. And, look, there was a lot of adversity. You kind of limped into this game, to say the least. And there was a couple of moments in the game that you'd like to have back, but what were maybe some of your overall takes in what happened last night, Kansas City taking down New Orleans?
I was a little bit shocked at just maybe how big the moment seemed for them coming in on both sides of the ball. It looked like they were a little bit jittery on offense and defense to start, and once they threw that pick, it kind of felt like the wheels came off. And look, my biggest takeaway from the game, I think, is that they just aren't good enough to really overcome injuries. And I'm not making injuries an excuse here, but, I mean, you got multiple guys out on the interior offensive line, and we know kind of what Derek Carr is. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and be the reason that you overcome bad things. He's someone that kind of needs to have a good structure around him, things kind of clean, and when that's happening, he can operate, and when it's not, he can't. And, I mean, it got to the point yesterday where I thought he was seeing ghosts at times. That 3rd and 8 throw to Shaheed, you go look at that pocket. It was there. He could have set and made that throw, his second to last throw of the game. Instead, he hurries it off his back foot. It's incomplete. Shaheed's open. It doesn't get there. And then, you know, the next one he gets hurt. And it felt like too much for him to overcome. And you know, somewhere in the middle is probably the real version of the Saints, but I know as long as this team's hurt, it seems like it's going to be tough for them to beat anyone that can make things tough on them.
I mean, that was kind of my main takeaways as well, Nick. And everything about this offense, it just doesn't work if you can't run the ball. And you couldn't run it last night. You couldn't run it a couple weeks ago against Philly. No Taysom is a correlating factor there. But explain to me, is it more of a matchup issue? What has gone so wrong in those two games in that you were just completely unable to create a consistent rushing attack compared to your others?
Well, I mean, I think the big thing this week is just the inability to block for sure. I mean, I think Taysom is a factor of that too, though. I mean, and he can help with some of that. I mean, when he's back there, it gives you a little bit of pause and makes you wonder where the ball is going to go. And, you know, it could go to him, it could go to Alvin. It just makes you like way more multiple than you typically are without them. But they just, I don't know, man. Like there was just nothing there last night. They couldn't block it. And I mean, coming into the season, we knew this was the issue. The offensive line was going to be this huge hurdle. And I guess they fooled us into a little bit of believing that they could make it work after the first 2 weeks. And again, I think you have all your pieces. Maybe you have a shot. I mean, I don't think it makes that much of a difference in last night's game, but it just there was nothing there. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going anywhere. You know, there were a couple runs early in the game. I thought there were some cutback plans for Alvin, but then after that, they got shut down. And I mean, some of those plays, like you're watching it, they're just I don't know. They're jumping the snap. There's nobody offering any resistance. Like it's just kind of impossible to win like that. And
yeah.
You know, I don't know how they fix it, honestly. I mean, I don't think they're going to magically get healthy by Sunday. I don't expect Ruiz to be out there I don't really think they have the answers for it. And, the thing that scares me the most is you have that, and then what if Carr tries to play through this and he's 65, 70%? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you can do with that, and I don't think, the jitters or whatever it is, I don't think that goes away as he's trying to protect an oblique. So they're in a tough position, and they could go on a run end of the year. The schedule's soft, all that stuff. But I think if you get to the point where you're 2-4, 2-5, that's going to be tough to overcome. I mean, just mentally in the locker room, all that stuff. So I feel like Sunday's a very critical game, and it's a little bit scary looking now.
Yeah, and Nick, we were talking about it, and you have all the injuries, a lot of deficiencies because of it up front. No Taysom Hill. You don't have a backup plan. And look, I know there's not a lot of Taysom Hills. He's a unicorn, but you don't have a backup plan for him. And when he's out, the offense looks different. Like all of those situations. But when you have that situation, like you don't plan on your 14-year quarterback throwing a pass off his back heel just up in the air for grabs either. Like those are things like that can happen. Like he has to know. Like, I'm not trying to play perfect. Perfect always kind of gets you in trouble, but I can't do things like that when we're trying to overcome all of these things.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. He said he was trying to throw the ball away and it didn't get out of bounds. Okay, know where you're out in the field, dirt it. I don't know, man. Like, there's been a few of those now, and it kind of feels like a recurring theme. And you kind of look past the first one against Philadelphia, end of the game, whatever. Bad decision, but fine. Atlanta throws the pick six when he should have dirted it. That's not a good outcome. And then you have this one too. It was not a smart play. It was a pure panic. I mean, it is honestly what it was. And I hate to say that, but I don't know how else to classify it. And then I think it was the next series. Like he's going down the field, and it's like he's lobbing it up again, and almost got picked off again on that deep ball to Shaheed. Just some really poor decision making. And I mean, I guess that's what we knew of him. It felt like maybe they turned a new leaf early in the year. He was making some throws under pressure, some stuff that was looking good. But yeah, he can't be part of the problem. I mean, you can get by if he's someone that isn't necessarily the reason you overcome adversity, but he can't be the source of it. And I felt like he was a little bit. And granted, tough circumstances, all that, but you can't make that throw on the opening series of the game against a team where, momentum is going to be everything. And, then they haven't been a good defense on opening drives. Coming into this game, they had allowed 3 touchdowns and a field goal, I think, on opening drives. And Saints just kind of, they got off to a good start, and then they shot themselves in the foot. And you can't have that.
Nick, so injuries are going to happen to any NFL team. But there's no doubt that the Saints have had maybe a bit of extra normal bad luck in terms of injuries, in terms of where they happen, the volume of the injuries. But ultimately, it has exposed the Saints roster as being kind of what we thought it was coming in, which is very brittle. A roster that if you had very good injury luck, maybe, you could be an okay team. But a roster that is very brittle because it's only 1 or 2 of the wrong guys going out from being kind of overall bad. Is this a function, this brittleness? Because Jake mentions here the Chiefs just bring in Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt. Look what they do. And no, that's Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes. But is this brittle nature of this roster, is that a function of the front office kind of entering a soft relaunch where they're trying to get everything off the books, they're trying to fix the cap, they're trying to not make any significant moves, and then how accepting, I know Mickey Loomis isn't going anywhere, but how accepting should Saints fans be of the very flawed construction of this roster?
All right, so we're talking construction and not actual brittleness. Because, I think some of the brittleness is due to it being the actual brittleness is due to it. It's an old team, and, old guys get hurt. That's just kind of part of the deal. And, but the part of that I'm not okay with, though, is the number of soft tissue injuries is insane, and those are preventable. And you're getting them on Fridays now. And Fridays are basically glorified walkthroughs of red zone. Practice lasts an hour, and back-to-back weeks, you have an injury to Chris Olave on a Friday, and then Lucas Patrick on a Saturday, which is typically the Friday script. So that to me does not seem okay. It seems like the soft tissue stuff is it's a borderline panic situation in my opinion. It's happening way too frequently, and somehow they got to find a way to stop those. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why it's happening. I'm not a doctor, but it feels like something that's happening here that isn't happening everywhere. And, a rib, an ankle, a broken bone, a collarbone, like that stuff you can't do anything about. But a hamstring, a groin, like you can prevent that stuff, and it's not happening right now. And they have to figure that out, or it's going to sink their season. And it's crazy. The brittleness overall, yeah. I mean, part of it's the soft relaunch. And I think the writing was on the wall. The two things that kind of stand out to me from last night is O-line, no depth, and you're throwing critical passes to an undrafted rookie because you don't have a third receiver. And week after week, we talked about it all offseason. They got to get it. It's a must. It's a must. It's a must. And now all of a sudden you're throwing passes to Mason Tipton at the end of the game in critical situations. And look, Tipton, I think, has talent, and I think he could be a good player. But that isn't how you want to construct your team necessarily. So, yeah, I think this is a little bit of a function of that you kind of got to live with what you built. And again, the injuries got crazy, but it feels like some of the guys you're playing in key roles are guys that should be your depth pieces and not guys that you're relying on to be the reason why you win or lose a game, and they're kind of in that situation. So I think people are justified in being frustrated until they show something different. And then I do deep down believe that this is a little bit different than last year or the year before, and I do think they're a little bit better when all the circumstances are right, but it's still not good enough until they show it's good enough. I mean, you won 2, you lost 3. Everybody should be frustrated after a third loss.
Nick,
is it hyperbolic to say that the Dennis Allen era is on the line come Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think that they would fire him at that point. And
I don't mean that. I don't mean a midseason firing. I mean functionally, are you overcoming a 2-4 start and making the playoffs?
It'd be really hard. It'd be really hard to do that for sure. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it does feel a little bit must win. If you're 2-4, it's tough. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they find a way to win, 4 of their last 6 or whatever. I think after Tampa, the next 7 are all very winnable games. But yeah, I mean, I think if you bury yourself a little bit, you're in a bad spot really quick. And it's not just beating the opponents at that point. You have to make sure that your locker room's in good shape, and it could very quickly turn on them. You have to be careful about. Last year, it felt really close, and I'm worried about that. You got a young team, and you got a lot of guys in contract years too, and people in those situations can start to look out for themselves, and you just got to be careful that the locker room doesn't fracture. It doesn't feel close. They still felt put together. Yesterday, and there wasn't really alarm sounding when last year there was in some of those situations. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have to play Tampa, tough team. Derek Carr, if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. If one of these other guys has to play, I feel like either one of them set up for failure, playing behind that line. That is not where you want a guy making their first start. I would love more than anything to see Spencer Rattler start a football game, but I would not want to see it under those circumstances. So it's just a bad spot right now.
Nick, were they too dependent on Taysom Hill with having no backup plan if he wasn't able to go, knowing his injury history?
I mean, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, I think they're highly dependent in the sense that I don't think you can really have a backup plan for him. He's just too unique. There's not another one of him in the league. But I think the answer to that, I think the lack of depth in general, okay, you take Chris Olave out of the game, and you stop running, then what are you doing? What's your answer? And yeah, before it's Taysom, but that could be another receiver. It could be, a healthy running back. It could be a tight end that can make plays. It's just too, I think it goes back to what T-Bob was saying about the brittle construction. It's just in general, way too thin. And, it's just, yeah, it's tough. The writing was on the wall, though. That's the thing that's frustrating about it, is that anybody could have looked at this and said, then I don't know. Like, they got these two receivers. They're both kind of smaller guys. What happens in a physical game? And, you got the answer here, and you take Taysom out. Like, it's just tough to find a way to succeed.
Dennis Allen won't be the first NFL coach fired if he was fired. The Jets just fired Robert Saleh. That just came across the wire there.
I'm not surprised. You knew that was happening when they started fighting about the cadence. They're all in on the Rodgers era, so yeah, that's not a surprise at all.
Wait, so they said, "Hey, Robert, so long."
That I mean, there's something there, but I think that was a little too long. There is something there, though. I think.
So long, saw you later. I don't know.
Keep working on it.
Yeah, keep working. I mean, that is tough. I mean, we're 5 weeks into the season, and you see them move on from their coach. I mean, that's a long time, Nick, to have an interim head coach. But I guess you feel like you have enough
Aaron Rodgers
there.
gets to be head coach now.
I mean, basically.
Yeah.
Will Nathaniel Hackett probably be elevated?
Insane, but yeah.
That's his guy.
Oh man, I think he needs to go. Like that offense feels a little archaic to me, but I guess that's like you have to run it if Rodgers is your quarterback. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there.
That is so early to fire a coach. Nick, we appreciate it every single week. Thanks for joining us. NewOrleans.football is the site. Sign up today, and we'll catch up with you again, hopefully after a better situation next week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right, you as well.
Take it easy, Nick.
Dang, Robert Saleh, 5 weeks into the season, T. Holla at your boy.
Bobby Saleh. Yeah, I mean, not. If you're telling me that the Jets did something organizationally questionable, I'm going to tell you I'm not surprised.
That's true.
You know, I think if you're surprised at this point, shame on you.
Yeah.
Because they ain't fooled you not once, not twice, not thrice, not catrice. I mean, this is the octuple time to the second power that the Jets have done something really stupid over the past 10, 15 years. And I'm not saying Bobby Saleh is really stupid. I'm just talking about being so dysfunctional that you are now siding mid-season with your 47-year-old quarterback over your head coach. It's obviously just a completely leaderless situation in New York.
That's a long time in the NFL to be in with an interim coach, and I'm sure speculating.
Go hire Jeff Saturday.
It is.
Bring him in, interim coach extraordinaire.
All right. Who
actually do Kevin Mawai?
Who would be their Jeff Saturday?
Kevin Mawai, former great Jet dude. Bring in Mawai. Come on now. 4 years, $16 million contract back in the day. Legend. Bring in Wayne Krebet.
Okay, see, that's where my head was. I have Wayne Krebet pulled up on my computer right now because that's where I was going.
I would go Wayne Krebet as my tiny slot white guy receiver coach. I would go Curtis Martin as my running backs coach. Kevin Mawai as my head coach. Darrelle Revis as my DC. And Rob Ryan as a defensive.
Jonathan Vilma get a spot on this staff?
Yeah, Vilma can get in there. And we'll throw in Bart Scott for you.
What about no, we want to be good. What about Vinny Testaverde?
Quarterback coach, absolutely.
Yeah.
Vinny T, actually younger than Aaron Rodgers. It'll make for an interesting dynamic in the room.
All right, well played. All right, we will take a break. More OTB.
Vinny T!
When we come back.
Off the bench.
Oh, Wayne Krebet. I'm going to do a deep dive into him during this break. Go to gotommies.com, GEAUX Tommies.com. Windows, doors, and siding, and you will clearly see the difference. When you go to the website, check out the gallery of work that they can do for you. And always remember, they can do some fantastic stuff. It's going to be in that gallery. But just know if you've got an idea in your head because you have a custom job that you want to have done at your home or business, they can do that as well. I think T-Bob's dying. So go to the website, GoTommies, GEAUX Tommies.com.
Yeah, you need hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need any and all type of doors. You want Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. And look, here at Tommy's, we recommend get multiple bids, okay? Just make us one of them and let Tommy and the team show you why they are your best answer. Go to GEAUXTommies.com.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, you know, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, you know. We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB. Robert Saleh out as the Jets head coach. Looks like the DC is actually going to get the interim tag and not the OC, Nathaniel Hackett. A little bit surprised. That's A-Rod's boy. I thought he'd get the job. He's been a head coach before for like 10 minutes, so I don't know. Thought maybe he'd get the job.
Yeah, but now the DC gets to deal, whatever. This is, I mean, this is legitimately, so is Aaron Rodgers legitimately just running the offense now?
I mean, this would be
like, I think you go DC to maybe make it look like you're not just having
Right.
him be the head coach, but like,
I mean, they were
who
talking
runs
about
the
them
meetings?
like they had like pretty decent Super Bowl odds to fired head coach in 5 weeks.
Again, it's the Jets. If you were really thinking the Jets were going to be good and Aaron Rodgers was going to be good when we haven't seen him be good in like half a decade, then you kind of get what you deserve. And I'm not saying that there's a world where Aaron Rodgers like where it didn't work. I could see that. But in terms of what was most likely, Aaron Rodgers at an age when, players fall off, that he was going to refine form that he hadn't had in multiple years. And this is with some benefit of hindsight, but it feels like an especially long odds play. And it feels even longer today than it did. And especially when you look at Rodgers, he's just kind of a different guy than he was off the field than when he was at his prime. Not to say that's good or bad, but he is different. And the level of play on the field's been different as well. Bobby Saleh.
Yeah, we'll get Flynn's take tomorrow, hopefully. A-Rod's his boy. Nathaniel Hackett is his boy as well.
Exactly. Old.
Oh, wow. You just call Flynn old?
No.
Wow.
How long have we been out of football, though?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Okay.
It's been a decade for me this year.
If your boys are still in the NFL, they old. They're ancient by NFL standards.
I'm trying to think who were the rookies my last year in the NFL. Brandon Cooks. I was in camp with him, and he was a rookie with the Saints. Doesn't feel great.
Brandon Cooks is an NFL chameleon. I feel like he's on every single NFL roster all at once. And he's pretty good. But never elite. But he's always on every single roster. Yeah. Shout out to Brandon Cooks. His basement, he has 16 NFL jerseys up there.
Yep.
And somehow also has like 14,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How Brandon Cooks just gets passed around like a blunt at one of P. Diddy's freak-offs. Laced with cocaine and ketamine.
Yep.
And boner drugs.
5 teams in 10 years.
That's a lot.
Look at me.
For somebody who's good.
I'm on that Cooks pack.
Do we have an update on your headphones?
No, not
okay,
yet. I think we're going to call after this break.
You're about to make me mad with the headphones because, why don't you do something?
I'm going to call again after this break. This woman has no idea what I'm talking about, who I'm talking to now.
Does she even know who Christine is? Or was Christine who stole your headphones moved behind the desk to make you think that she was an employee?
She did say that Christina was, she knows who she is.
Okay.
It did not sound like, though, she did not give me confidence that that anything was going to happen.
You'll never that's a one of one item. Like those were custom for your show on the volume when it was there.
Yeah.
Like that's like sentimental. That's not just any headphones.
Yeah, it's a huge bummer. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
No, I'm trying to help you for it not to suck. Like we got to get to the bottom of this.
You know what makes me feel better though? How sincerely John Gruden loves football.
Yeah, I love those videos.
If you haven't been watching John Gruden's TikToks, the man's unironic love of football gives off the feeling of almost like sexual rage. Like I would love for Freud to break down Gruden because he gets sweaty when he talks about it. And he yells and he gets red in the face, but it's with a pure, unadulterated joy. Like he's yelling, he's sweaty, he's red, and he appears angry, but it's because he's so happy. Him talking about Jared Goff going 18 of 18, the man looks like he was about to have an aneurysm from bliss. His TikTok football era is really incredible to watch from afar. It's like Papa John's pizza interview, but 1,000 times better. Papa ate 30 pizzas in 30 days. Gruden is eating 60 pizzas in 30 days with how much football he's covering right now. And he looks like a beautiful mind, like Russell Crowe. Like he just has a giant whiteboard behind him, just covered in statistics. He's in really dark rooms all the time, very poorly lit, with the glow of the screen on his beady eyes as he bores into your soul, talking about effective offensive football. It is really fantastic stuff.
Will John Gruden be a head coach in college or professional football again?
I kind of don't think so.
Is this now?
I don't know what.
Is this now the ceiling for John Gruden? Will the groomers ever get started on every college campus
again? Pretty
again?
awesome in the booth. I don't think that
what
he'll
happened to
ever
that?
get another shot.
Did he leave straight from there to go coaching?
What's that?
Did he leave straight from the booth to go to coaching?
Yeah, to go back to coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went straight to the Raiders head job, right?
Yeah.
Or wait, back to the Raiders head job. As much as so I think two things. First off, I do think teams are going to be wary to take a shot on him because of some of the past drama. But even more than that, at a certain point, he's kind of starting to enter Sean Payton territory. Now, credit to Sean Payton, 3 wins in a row. Maybe he changes the narrative on him, right? But like early on, when we're seeing the Kubiaks and the Shannons have success and the Paytons, we're like, oh well, the game's passed them by, and this is the new age of guys. Gruden feels like in the latter category, the category potentially of feel that the game has passed by. But who knows? I don't know that I expect him to get another opportunity. Even though in a time-honored tradition that'll make me feel young again, maybe John Gruden should be rumored with the Florida job.
Ooh, yeah, groomers. That's right. I'm telling you. If they would have lost this weekend, that'd have been it. Now, like I know to bring it back to college football, and I talked about Sam Pittman and the Razorbacks are playing for him. Like they play so damn hard when you watch them on tape. And like maybe some of that for Billy Napier a little bit last week against UCF. But Hugh Freeze's team, you turn on that tape, you don't see the same thing. And there's something to that. Like when your coach is, being talked about in a bad way, you can play two ways. You can fight like hell for his position, or you can be like, whatever. And I see a lot of whatever there for Auburn compared to Arkansas and even Florida. And he's thrown them under the bus multiple times this year.
Yeah.
That starts to catch up to you.
It does make you wonder how they're recruiting so well.
Yes, it does. Well, no. Their pockets are deep with 3 E's in the middle. That helps. But also, like, you got to get to get to the finish line. You have to get to the finish line because Auburn over the last couple of years, they have gotten commitments, not signees.
That's true. Speaking of, there's a new number 1 player in 2026 for the state of Louisiana. So with Jakeem reclassified in 2025, Lamar Brown from U-High. Now, the number 1 player in Louisiana, he's an O-line D lineman. Still unclear as to what he'll play on the next level. On 3, has him ranked as the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country and the number 4 player overall in the country. I actually had to meet him when I spoke to the UI team. He's a massive kid.
Yep.
Seems like a really good kid. He's got a great relationship with LSU. Seems like he's got a pretty good relationship with A&M as well. Everybody wants him. The Lamar Brown saga over the next year and some change will be very interesting. And on November 1st, his birthday, he's going to shrink his list. And I'm sure LSU will be a finalist there. But yeah, man, getting Stewart and getting him, those are 2 massive, massive targets for Kelly and this staff over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and obviously you and I got a little insight to that program, knowing we have children to go there. My oldest son plays on the varsity team and can't say enough nice things about him. Like, just talking with him throughout the summer, like, he was telling me about him, and he's like, hey, man, he's really cool, too. Like, you would never know. Like, he's like this big-time recruit. He talks to the freshmen, so, like, all those things. Like, it's good to hear a player, like, doing the things on the field, but also being a great teammate. So, yeah, it's going to be highly competitive for Lamar's services there in college, for sure. Now, you do have a little you got a little U-High juice. Keelan Moses, obviously, completely shutting his recruitment down. He had his official visit over the weekend because, it's an interesting dynamic. And you and I talk about it on air, off air all the time. Like, when your kids go to school K through 12 on LSU's campus, are they going to want to go to another 4 years of college on LSU's campus? It's a slippery slope. Man.
It's very tough. Very tough. That can really work both ways. That said, this state's been very good. at Recruiting Louisiana.
They have.
So
And U-High.
let's see how they finish up this 25 class. Can you get Jakeem and then Lamar Brown? Again, this Lamar Brown thing's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up the fact that he is now the number 1 ranked player in the state, number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country, according on 3, and a number 4 player overall. So a real elite talent there in your literal backyard.
Yeah, I mean, I might even be front yard. I mean, it's on campus.
It might just be the back room of the house, honestly.
That's
he
even
already
better.
lives here. He's right over there.
That's even better. All right, we will step away. More OTB when we come back here. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com. On the website there, brand new website, by the way, looks fantastic. At the bottom of the site, you can sign up for residential service. You can sign up for commercial service. You also can sign off right there for that roll-off dumpster. Now, 3 different sizes to choose from. And if you got a question and you're like, hey, I think I know what size I need, but here's my project, give them a call. You tell them what you're doing, and they're going to know exactly what size that you're going to need. That number is 225-363-9053.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. What were you just talking about, Jake?
Trash Rangers.
Yeah, Trash Rangers. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. TrashRangers.com. If you live in Livingston or Ascension, you need residential pickup. You want to get your husband off your back, get him to finally stop nagging you about forgetting to put the trash out. We're here, Trash Rangers. Just an example of the local touch. A text the night beforehand to remind you that it's your pickup day. Okay, so whether it's roll-off dumpsters, front-load dumpsters, residential pickup, go with the local guys. Go with TrashRangers.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back in, OTB. T-Bob, Luke Betts just stopped by the studio and said he had your knee pads and he's going to put them in your mailbox.
You see what I'm talking about?
He also said to shave your beard because it chafes.
He did say that as well. That is factual. He did say that.
If you're ever going to let someone get some sort of bragging rights over you, a cheeky Englishman is on the top 3 list of guys you don't want to have said bragging rights, because he just takes the piss constantly. And he's so cheeky, and he's always talking trash. He's just a cheeky little bastard, isn't he? So whatever, Luke, get your knee pads ready, because I'm going to bang you. Hard. Okay? Very hard. On the tennis court, I mean.
Yeah, where else we
actually one-on-one, he's like a million times better than me. We did play, and I didn't even get a game off him. Very sad stuff.
I like how you're turning into country club, Bob.
Whoa. Not true. There's a lot of blue-collar tennis out there, Bob. A lot of blue-collar.
I didn't say.
I ain't
Well,
playing
hold on. I didn't say.
I'm playing Country Club Louisiana.
I didn't say anything was wrong with being country club, Bob. I didn't slight tennis. I didn't say anything. You assumed a lot there just by calling you country club, Bob.
Well, okay, right. Okay, so I assumed a lot. Okay, let's play this math then.
Is tennis a country club sport?
Club Bob, what are you talking about then?
Is tennis a country club sport? Yes or no?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what people think of it as. What I'm saying is I'm here to break the stereotype. Okay, there's a lot of blue-collar tennis out there.
Every country club in America has tennis courts.
Off of Highland. Go see some of the Breck Parks. There's a lot of tennis out there at very
that feels
different
real
levels.
Defensive for something that was just.
Is T-Bob claiming he's part of the blue-collar community?
I am part of the blue-collar community. It's a fact.
I don't know if you are.
I got calluses on my hands.
Well, I know you got them on your heels.
I got boots and jeans on right now.
Oh, so what you wear
makes you. Because you don't have Wolf and Shepherds, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't have $250.
What do imposters do? They dress up like something they're not.
Look, I don't need you to talk to me with your 20-foot ceilings and your 5 bedrooms, okay? I don't need you to talk to me.
Yeah, that's the house that Grit built, okay?
Computer right now, okay?
That's the house that Grit built.
No, it's okay. I don't need to defend myself here. My tennis bros know we're just a bunch of hard-working, down-to-earth, salt-of-the-earth tennis guys.
You know, honestly, like all jokes aside, there's not really a sport post-playing career without it being a combat sport, but even then, like you can't really, like you're just going to go fight somebody that you can get the grit out. Like, help me out here. Like, what would be the equivalent? You know, you can't play football. Like, nobody's, like, there's not an adult football league. Like, you can go play flag, I guess, but that's not the same.
They got, like, softball, like, adult softball leagues.
That gets a little.
You're not gonna find anything to get the violence out, but I will say that, like, this has made me appreciate why everybody does, like, ancient athletes, stuff like that, is because, like I say, like, when you're in a tie break or when you really want to win and your back is against the wall, it's like the first time that I've really felt alive again in years.
I
like
get
we're down
that.
4-2 the other day, and it's like we gotta win this set.
That's what you miss the most.
That was like
that's what you miss the most, T-Bob. When you stop playing, you miss. Yeah, the locker room culture is great. A football locker room is one of the greatest places on earth because nothing matters. It doesn't matter where you came from.
There's just meat everywhere.
Nope. It doesn't matter, race, religion. Like, none of that matters in a locker room, in a football locker room. It's just everybody's going for the same goal because it's a sport where all 22 have to be going in the same direction for it to work. You can have 21 going in the same direction. It's not going to work. And that's what makes football just the best sport in the world. So, like, all those things. And, like, that's what you miss. You miss that part of it, and you miss being competitive in something, saying, I'm better than you. You can't do anything about it, and I'm going to impose my will on you. Like, you don't have that. And that's the thing that you miss.
That's what I'm saying. I got that feeling on the court the other day.
I'm glad. I'm happy
I feel like
for
I could feel the opponent I mean, I also miss the bodies in the locker room, crazy abs. You just see bodies that you never see again for the rest of your life in the locker room, like consistently. Steven Jackson was like looking at a Greek statue come to life, just striding through the locker room. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. The guy was like 6'8", it felt like, and like 270 pounds, and had an 8-pack and ran like a 4.2.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Number 39, show some respect.
Yeah, God, gross.
Who else
number.
can make 39 look so good?
Nobody.
That's blue collar.
Yeah, 39's gross. Is nasty. That's a nasty number. It is in the Hall of Fame of bad numbers.
Yeah.
And he made it look pretty good. Speaking of ancient athletes, you know where they play their games now?
I'm guessing the Elite Football Training Facility.
Elite Training Academy, EliteTrainingAcademyBR.com.
ETA.
Yeah, if you want to check that out.
Be there about 7:30.
Yeah, if you want to. You will? What?
No, ETA, Elite Training Academy, estimated time of arrival.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad joke.
It would have been good, like if your ETA at Elite today for like a sport would have been 7:30.
What's your ETA at ETA? That's the joke. That's the actual joke, I think, there.
Yeah.
Text it to your friends, guys.
Yeah, go to the website, rent the indoor, outdoor fields coming soon, leagues, the whole deal. Elite Training Academy, BR.com. All right.
Do y'all have locker rooms?
We do. We do have locker rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we? So I want to start a new men's league where we don't actually play a sport. We just go hang in the locker room and like shower and chill and just recapture all that locker room feeling that we missed from back in the day.
Yeah, I think they have those places, but they're not called locker rooms.
What are they called? Turkish bathhouses?
I think so.
Because it's not the same. I need a locker to be sitting in.
Okay.
Like I need to tape my ankles even though I'm not going to do anything.
We can tape your ankles there as well. If you want
to, can you tape them behind my head?
More OTB when we come back.
I was going to say, I need Jerry Sandusky to calm down.
Off the bench.
Oh, good God. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Sorry, All-Star, that you followed that. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting, everything is available. Per day rental prices. If you want to be just ultra white and be like Tay and go to Branson, they've got you. Or even more so, go to Gatlinburg. Great cities, great places. Tay visits them pretty often. And he's rented a Toyota before to make one of those trips. Don't know if he did this time, but you can do it. Everything's available. Bigger, better on gas mileage, whatever. They've got it. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, head over to the website's a great place. Check out some of the incredible deals they got going on this spooky season as well. Or maybe you just go see the sales team of an airline in Goodwood and you come in with a number and maybe you end up leasing, maybe you end up going use new. Who knows? What I can guarantee you is you will find the exact answer that you and your family are looking for. Your one-stop car shop. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
All right, welcome back in. OTB. Time for Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. While we're waiting on some of those questions to roll in, the Queen was awesome again last night. The Queen is completely remodeled, redone. It's going to blow you away, certainly if you haven't been there in a long time. DraftKings Sportsbook, a great place to watch any major sporting event.
Ooh,
another great time.
I cannot wait to get my cut of that Foster Mora bet. Let's freaking go, dude. Bam! Big hit last night, boys. Second week in a row.
You know, honestly, like, I messed up and I thought it was 400. It was 340. But still pretty good hit.
Good hit.
Good hit.
Still.
Yeah, I hate that Handy wasted. I hate that Handy wasted the the group bet though.
Handy did with it.
Only still the probably the best part of last night's game. I mean, the Shaheed deep ball was tight.
Yeah.
The Saunders pick was tight, but the play design on the Foster Mora touchdown was actually really
good.
tight.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even see it live. Alondra texted me. I'm like, okay.
Sorry, what?
I didn't even get a chance to see it live. Alondra texted me that the bet hit, but I did just see it, watching the game back. It was really nice play design. I don't know where the play design was the rest of the game.
I forgot you did the 7. Was it 7+ yards? I don't remember.
So I did over 7.5 yards.
Yeah.
And then anytime touchdown.
Okay.
So I think he only had 2 catches.
Okay. Oof. But he hit the 7
He
yards.
did. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I forgot you did that. I thought you just had
to add a little bit of juice to it.
Yeah.
All right, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Sweet. Ask the Bench, how many times has T-Bob had to have a talk with HR?
None.
None.
I was about to say,
they pretty much give us the freedom to do kind of whatever we want. I guess as long as we don't have any,
Is it wrong to say
straight,
that you just want to
bad
hang with
words?
the boys in the locker room and swing meat together? I don't think that's wrong.
No, if you do it at Texas Day Brazil, why can't you do it in the locker room?
Yeah.
Well, you can't do it at Texas.
Ask the Bench,
crime,
should Washington
You got
State
that.
count
No
as a
stop.
Power 4 opponent for Ole Miss next season? They did schedule them, I think, because Wake Forest
beat
dropped
Washington.
off. And Washington State's not bad, but I think the question
what I'm
is
saying.
because they're going to be in the Pac-12 and it's going to have a lot of Group of 5 teams. Is it going to count? I don't know. I think Ole Miss paid. I think Ole Miss paid for having a weak schedule this year in the first contest. Now they bounced back and beat a good team, but I think they paid for it a little bit.
No, look, honestly, short answer, no. Washington State should not count as a Power 4 team. They'll be in the Pac-12, and that's not going to be a Power 4 conference.
Ask the Bench, what is one can't-miss restaurant in Baton Rouge?
Parins is my favorite.
I really like Zorba's.
I don't know what that is.
You know what I like? We like go-to spot is Modesto.
I've never had Modesto, but I've heard good things about
Love it. It's fantastic.
Pretty good.
Really good. Good lunch spot. Great lunch spot. Good lunch menu. Smaller restaurants. So, good little vibe to it. I don't know. We go pretty often. I mean, Piccadilly's the answer, but, we'll move forward. Ask the bench. Funniest thing you've done or seen in the locker room?
Not in the locker room, but I had a teammate that put his own excrement under another teammate's car door handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that nearly got him murdered.
Yeah, remember that?
But that's like an insane thing to do.
Wait.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
damn
we'll
funny.
explain that when we don't have time.
No laundry. He put the excrement under the door handle, so as the man opened his door, he had poop on his hands.
That is evil.
Monty Ball doing the cinnamon challenge from No Sean Moreno was probably the best locker room moment that I had. It was incredibly hilarious, and I wish I still had that video. Last one.
Wait, do you remember that time when I caught you and Flynn making out? That was funny.
Ask the bench.
That was really funny.
T-Bob, what's your favorite type of Bluetooth headphones?
Bose Mini Link.
And they mini missing, and you ain't getting them back. We'll be back, though, tomorrow for OTB.
And I'll be back
off the bench.
Go to AccuTempBR.com. AccuTempBR.com is the website. Right, you're in the time of year where maybe next week you turn on the heater for a little bit. The next week you turn on the AC for a little bit. You go back, you go forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, don't shock your system, right? Have AccuTemp come out. Make sure your system is working like it's supposed to, like it's ready for the back and forth. They come out quick and easy. Check out your system. You know exactly who is coming into your home. You can schedule all of that today on the website, AccuTempBR.com.
AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, guys. Service to the highest degree is not just slip service. It is a way of life. The core ethos, the mission statement, the guided philosophy. It's written all over their building, and it's evident in every single thing that they do. Look, these storm seasons are getting crazier and crazier, man. You want a whole home generator that's going to keep your home protected from those power outages? Well, guess what? You go to AccuTemp, get a free estimate to tell you how it works today. Go to AccuTemp, AccuTemp Baton Rouge.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.